Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Admission Branch, University of Delhi, I welcome you all to the very first webinar on undergraduate admissions 2023. As always, University of Delhi has taken lead in creating awareness among the students and sensitizing them about the Common University Entrance Test 2023. In today's webinar, we'll be covering various admission-related policies of University of Delhi. As you may be aware that since last year, University of Delhi has adopted a CUET for admissions to courses, where earlier the admission was done on the basis of class 12 board marks. Today, amongst us, we have a registrar from University of Delhi, Dr. Vikas Gupta. Sir, I welcome you on this webinar. We are also joined by Dean Admissions, Professor Hanif Gandhi, who will be apprising you for various policies of admission. I welcome you on this webinar, ma'am. We are also joined by the Joint Dean Admissions, Dr. Amit Pundir, who will be explaining various policies which are related to admission. So I would now like to request Registrar Sir to give his opening remarks.
Thank you so much, Anand जी. नमस्कार, आप सब लोगों का मैं स्वागत करता हूं आज के इस वेबिनार में। सर्वप्रथम तो मैं आप लोगों को बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं कि आप लोग अपने 12th के एग्जाम बिना किसी डर, बिना किसी खौफ के दें और अच्छे मार्क्स प्राप्त करें। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय ने 2021 में ये निर्णय लिया कि उसके एडमिशंस जो हैं वो कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट के थ्रू होंगे। इस कड़ी में 2022-23 के सेशन के जो एडमिशंस थे वो हमारे कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट के थ्रू हुए। हमें ये पता चला कि नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी अपने कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट के लिए फॉर्म्स इनवाइट कर रहा है। सो दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय ने एक अग्रिम स्टेप लेते हुए अपनी कार्य प्रणाली को पूरा सुदृढ़ किया और सारी एलिजिबिलिटी नोटिफाई करी। आप लोगों को ये जानना और समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट के माध्यम से हर बोर्ड का बच्चा एक कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाता है। उस कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म पे कहीं भी किसी किस्म की ये दिक्कत नहीं होती कि वो बच्चा किसी और बोर्ड से या किस बोर्ड से आ रहा है। कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट के तहत जब नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी स्कोर देती है तो सब बच्चे एक लेवल पे आते हैं। तो उसी प्रावधान के तहत हम उनका एडमिशन करेंगे। बच्चे कुछ चीजों का जरूर ध्यान रखें कि नंबर 1 कि आप लोगों ने 12th में जो सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़े हुए हैं, आप कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट में वो सब्जेक्ट्स जरूर ऑप्ट करें। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय ने ये निर्णय लिया हुआ है कि आप क्लास 12 के सब्जेक्ट्स अगर आपने पढ़े हैं उन्हीं में ही आप CUET देंगे तो हम उनको कंसीडर करेंगे। लेकिन कुछ कोर्स जैसे BA प्रोग्राम का हमारा कोर्स है, उसके अंदर थोड़ा सा फ्रीडम है कि आप एक लैंग्वेज, एक सब्जेक्ट और साथ में जनरल एबिलिटी का एक टेस्ट लेके भी एडमिशन ले सकते हैं। हमारे कुछ कोर्सेज के एडमिशन में अलग क्राइटेरिया भी दिया हुआ है, जिस चीज को बच्चे बहुत ध्यान से देखें कि वो किस कोर्स में एडमिशन लेना चाहते हैं और वहां की एलिजिबिलिटी क्या है। दूसरी चीज, कुछ बच्चे हमारे अलग कैटेगरीज से भी आते हैं, जैसे SC, ST, OBC, इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी। आप सबसे मैं ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप लोगों के बोर्ड के एग्जाम 31 मार्च तक हैं। आप अपने एग्जाम दें, अपनी तैयारी भी करें और साथ में जो आपकी कैटेगरी का सर्टिफिकेट है, क्योंकि आज की डेट में सारी सरकार जो है वो सर्टिफिकेट ऑनलाइन देती हैं, वो सर्टिफिकेट भी अपने जल्दी से जल्दी तैयार करवाएं। क्योंकि आखिरी मिनट में आप लोगों के पास सर्टिफिकेट ना होने के कारण आपको बहुत असुविधा होती है। तो हम ये चाहेंगे कि जब आप ये फॉर्म, अभी तो पहली स्टेज का फॉर्म आप भर रहे हैं NTA का, लेकिन जब दूसरी स्टेज का फॉर्म दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का भरेंगे तब हमें ये सर्टिफिकेट आपके चाहिए होंगे। और इन सर्टिफिकेट्स को बनाने में मैंने ये देखा कि अधिकतम समय 15 दिन का लगता है, उससे ज्यादा का समय नहीं लगता इस चीज में। तो आप लोग इस चीज को ध्यान में रखें। तीसरी चीज, जब हमारा सेकंड स्टेज का फॉर्म आएगा उसके अंदर हम आपसे डिफरेंट कोर्सेज और उसकी ऑप्शन जब चूज करवाते हैं तो आप लोग ये ध्यान रखें कि जितने कोर्स में आप अपनी एलिजिबिलिटी के तहत एलिजिबल हो रहे हैं आप उन सबको ऑप्ट करके चले, कि जिससे कि कई बार किसी असुविधा के कारण आपका स्कोर अच्छा नहीं आया तो आप विश्वविद्यालय में एडमिशन से वंचित ना रह जाएं। कोई ना कोई कोर्स होगा जहां पे आपकी एलिजिबिलिटी मीट कर रही होगी और आपका स्कोर उस मेरिट लिस्ट में आ रहा होगा और आपको एडमिशन मिल जाएगा। तो ये सारे प्रावधान हमने करे हुए हैं। आज हमारा पहला वेबिनार है ये वाला, जिसमें हम सारी एलिजिबिलिटी बताएंगे कि किस किस तरीके से आपको समझना है, इन चीजों को आपको ध्यान में रखना है। मेरे साथ प्रोफेसर हनीफ गांधी हैं जो डीन एडमिशंस हैं। ये आपको हर तरीके की चीज पूरे विस्तार से बताएंगी। इसके बावजूद भी हमारी एडमिशन ब्रांच ने कई तरीके की तैयारी कर रखी है कि आपका चैटबॉट है, आप क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं, आप हमें मेल लिख सकते हैं, आपको जवाब मिल जाएंगे। लेकिन आप लोग फॉर्म को सही तरीके से भरें, अपनी कैटेगरी को सही तरीके से भरें, अपने नाम को पूरा सही तरीके से भरें, क्योंकि कुछ पैरामीटर्स ऐसे हैं जो एनटीए भी चेंज नहीं करता और हम चेंज नहीं कर पा सकते उसके बाद। तो आप लोग ये ध्यान रखेंगे तो आप लोगों को बहुत सुविधा होगी। और मेरी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सबको। और आज के इस वेबिनार को आयोजन करने के लिए मैं हनीफ गांधी जी का, मेरे साथी अमित पंडित जी का और आनंद जी का धन्यवाद देता हूं कि इन्होंने बहुत जल्दी और उचित समय पर यह स्टेप लिया कि हम ये वेबिनार ऑर्गेनाइज कर पाए और बच्चों को ये सूचना मिल पाए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। नमस्कार। थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद सर। Namaskar, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you is extended to our Registrar Sir Vikas Gupta ji, who has just oriented you on the various admission-related policies for admission to the undergraduate programs of University of Delhi. In continuation to whatever he has said, this webinar will apprise you on the key aspects of Common University Entrance Test undergraduate program and also the various features with respect to our eligibilities of University of Delhi, to the undergraduate programs of University of Delhi. So we will begin, we have a small presentation for you. We will begin with the presentations, and after we close the presentations, you may, in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put it on our YouTube channel. We will pick your questions from there, and after we complete the presentation, we'll take the question answer session. And Dr. Anand, I would request you to please note down the questions that have been asked by the viewers. We'll take all the questions at the end of the presentation. So please hold on to your questions at the end of the presentation. I'll just show my, sir, do confirm if the presentation is visible. Sir, is the presentation visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is there.
And let me do a screen share. Is this also visible? And I'll do a little slideshow. Can you see the second slide?
No, not right now.
So I think we'll have to move to the, 1 minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible now.
I think I'll have to close the screen sharing mode. So which slide is visible to you right now?
Yeah, I can see your slides, but it is not full screen mode.
The minute I go for a screen sharing, the slide change is not visible. Okay. So we'll stick to the presentation mode then. Okay. Dear friends and students, as you're familiar, NTA has already launched the portal for Common University Entrance Test for undergraduate programs for this year. Like last year, this year also, all admissions to University of Delhi will be through CUET 23. So any candidate who were to take an admission into our programs will have to compulsory appear in this CUET 23. So we request you that only the scores which we will obtain from CUET UG 23 will become the basis for your admission for this year admission. You would be happy to know that the University of Delhi offers admission to almost 80 programs, 79 programs to be precise, which is run in the 68 colleges of University of Delhi. And you'll also be happy to know that a very prestigious institute, College of Art, has also joined us in CUET, and the admission to Bachelor of Fine Arts, which is BFA, will also be done through the CUET 23, which will be taken up by the University of Delhi. So this year we have added another course, which is BFA, to our existing criteria, to our existing colleges and programs. Our admissions, Delhi University have various institutes of admission. One are the regular candidates, which will come through CUET. We also have our undergraduate programs in School of Open Learning and non-collegiate Women Education Board. But to these two institutes, you don't have to appear in CUET. Admission to these two institutes is based on the merit that you will get in your class 12th marks. But sorry, I forgot about FSR also, but this is not for Indian nationals. All foreign nationals will have to register through the FSR, which is Foreign Students Registry. Indian students or Indian citizens may appear for CUET if you want to come for a regular 79 programs in 68 colleges. If you want to go for SOL and NCWeb, then CUET is not mandatory. All the candidates who are planning to appear for or planning to take admission in our colleges, whether you want to come for any supernumerary category, which is PWBD, CW, ECA, sports, you will all have to take the CUET 23 examination. We do not put any disadvantage for the change of stream. Once we will come to our eligibility criteria, you will understand that even if you've taken science, you can still opt for humanities subjects without any disadvantage. And you can also continue to take your CUET in the science subjects. And then when you want to opt for, let's say, BA Honours History, you can still do that without taking a paper in history. This is what we want to see. So as our registrars suggested, we recommend the same. Please go for the subjects that you've taken in your class 12. There is no need to change the subjects for admissions in University of Delhi. In fact, you must take the subjects that you've taken in class 12. In addition to that, you may take as many subjects as you wish to, but for admission in University of Delhi, we highly recommend, in fact, it is mandatory to choose the subjects that you've taken in class 12. There is no disadvantage for gap year also, which means gap year in only your class 12. If you've studied class 12 in any of the earlier years, you can still, and you want to take admission in Delhi University, you can still come by taking the CUET 23. So you have to mandatorily go for the Common University Entrance Test conducted by NTA for undergraduate programs. As you must be familiar, so is my next slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So universities across the country have moved to this transition phase of taking admissions only through a nationalized based test, and so have the University of Delhi. The information related to the Common University Entrance Test is available on cuet.samarth.ac.in, or if you go to the NTA website also, then also you can find a link to cuet.samarth.ac.in. Here you will see the information bulletin. There are three important tabs that you should be familiar with on the CUET website. One is the information bulletin of CUET published by NTA, National Testing Agency. Please go through the information bulletin very carefully. There are dates mentioned in the information bulletin. It mentions the languages and the domain specific subjects, and also details of when and where the paper will be taken, and also the fee structure. You should also go through the syllabus tab of NTA and check the syllabus of various papers in which you're giving the admission, in which you're taking the test. You must also go to the website of the universities to ascertain the, pardon me. You must also visit the link to the websites given on the CUET portal, where the detailed information about eligibilities for various universities have been listed. You must visit the website of this universities to check the eligibility criteria for every university. As it is mentioned on the website of the NTA, and this information has been extracted from there, Most probably, CUET will be conducted between 21st of May to 31st of May. There is also a provision of 1 week additionally for any unforeseen situation. University of Delhi will open its common seat allocation system around this time. As gathered from NTA, the question paper of CUET has 13 medium and 20 other languages. Now, these medium are the paper in which the question would appear on your screen. So the paper of CUET is likely to be in 3 modes if you opt for. Every question on your screen will be in English, Hindi, and an additional medium that you opt for. Now, these medium are these 13 medium that are visible on your screen. Some of them are Assamese, Bengali, English, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, so on. So when you select a medium, a question paper will appear to you in 3 languages, English, Hindi, and whichever medium that you choose for. In case you don't choose any medium, that will be in English and Hindi. Now, these languages are also made provisional according to the provinces in which these medium are most spoken. So that is how the arrangement has been done. The entire paper of CUET is a computer test mode, which is a CBT mode, a computer. So you will have to visit the centers which you will get, and there'll be a screen in front of your computer screen on which you will be taking the test. All the admissions to all central universities only through this CUET, and there are other participating universities which are also taking CUET. We recommend and we suggest you to please keep visiting the website of NTA and University of Delhi for all updates related to CUET and admission to University of Delhi. Now, this is a glimpse of CUET we've just tried to gather the information and summarize it for you. Section A has, as I just told you, Section A has 13 medium languages. There'll be 40 questions, there'll be 50 questions, and you have to attempt 40 out of that. So you have a choice of 10 surplus questions to choose from the language section of CUET, Section 1A and 1B. Section 2 is domain specific. Section 2 is domain specific, where there are 27 domain subjects. This comprise of mathematics, applied mathematics, anthropology, biology, physics, chemistry, history, political science, so on and so forth. There are 27 subjects that have been shortlisted. Here, you will be asked to attempt either 35 questions from 45 questions which will become on the dashboard, or 40 out of 50. There is another section which is the general test. Here, there'll be 60 questions, and you will have to do 50 out of the 60 questions displayed on your screen. Now, Delhi University recommends you to take at least must appear in a language. Appearing in a language is compulsory for all the programs, even if we do not consider the score in the merit list. So language component, you must give the language that you've studied in class 12, you must give your CUET in that language. Addition to that, you may choose any other language, but one language, appearing in one language is compulsory, and this language should be the language that you studied in class 12. Now, for admission for appearing in CUET, information related to pattern of the question paper and the subjects that will appear, along with the syllabus, as I just said, is available on the website of NTA. We suggest you, we advise you to please visit the website of cuet.samarth.ac.in for all detailed information related to the pattern of the question paper, the test, and the mode in which it will be conducted, and also with respect to syllabus. The marking scheme of CUET is, every question will be of 5 marks. And if there is a wrong question, if you've attempted a question wrongly, then -1 mark will be, a negative marking of -1 mark will be done. There is no mark deduction if you do not attempt the question. All this information, by the way, is also available on the website of CUET. This is the medium of instruction in which the paper would appear. I request Dr. Amit Pundir to please take this forward from here. our joint dean, Dr. Amit Bundir. I request sir to please take this forward from the PPT forward from this here onwards.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
Should I close my screen so that you can open the PowerPoint through your end?
Yeah, that would be good.
Please go ahead, sir.
I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am, and for giving me this opportunity to interact with the prospective students. All the applicants who are interested in seeking admission to University of Delhi, say a very good afternoon to all of you. This year's CUT, that is CUT 23, that is more or less same. It has very minor changes, which ma'am has just highlighted the salient features of CUT for you. In this part of the presentation, I will remain focused on the admission requirements of the University of Delhi. So, as the candidates from across India from different boards can appear in CUT, and they are eligible in different universities, but every university, every program may have different eligibility criteria. So it is very important for you to go through the information bulletins of all the universities in which you are interested in taking admission. So since I will remain focused on the University of Delhi, we also have our own dedicated admission website, where a very comprehensive document, which is bulletin of information with regards to the University of Delhi, the admission we have on a website. There you will find the bulletin of information, and I would like all of you to first go through that very carefully, and you should read the eligibilities, the different conditions, the important points, and also about the universities. So that will give you a clear picture, a better picture, and you will also come to know about the program specific eligibilities, because there are many programs and each program has different eligibility. So that makes it very important. So I will give few seconds to tell you about University of Delhi, although this information is there in the bulletin of information. As you know, that University of Delhi is one of the premier institutes and a premier university in India. It offers, you can see on my screen, it offers a very large number of UG programs, 79 to be specific, in more than 7 domains. The domains you can see on the left-hand side, we offer graduation UG programs in languages, arts, social sciences, science, maths, technology, commerce, management, education, music, fine arts, vocational studies, and physical education. So we offer programming almost all these in all these domains, and there are 79 such UG programs, and each program has a specific eligibility requirement. As ma'am mentioned, that in all the programs, the admission will be through CUET only. So it is mandatory for all the candidates, aspirants, to appear in CUET UG 23. Even those who are seeking admission on the basis of ECA, sports, and other categories will also have to appear in CUET 23. The merit list, what is more important here, is the merit list, the allocation of seats in a particular college, in a particular program, according to your marks and according to this availability of seat. So that is what we mean by allocation here. So we will be preparing the merit list, and accordingly we will do the allocation. And on the basis of this allocation, the college will give you admission. So the entire process of preparation of merit list, the allocation, and the admission, the entire list, the entire cycle will be based on CUET score. So it is important, it is mandatory to appear in CUET. Now, another important point which the registrar sir and the dean ma'am also highlighted, and they repeated it again and again, is that, and I would also, give few seconds for this point, because this is a very important point to note. In University of Delhi, we have taken a decision that only those subjects in which you have passed, in which you are appearing in your class 12, or you have passed your class 12, only those subjects will be considered for giving admission, for deciding merit list, for allocation, for final admission. We will be considering only those subjects in which you are either appearing or you have passed class 12th. So we have prepared a infographic for you. Suppose in class 12th you appeared in these subjects, that is English, physics, chemistry, maths and economics. But in CUET, you decide to appear in these papers, as you can appear up to 10 papers in CUET. You can take up to 10 papers in the subjects in CUET. So what my students do is that they study different subjects, A, B, C, D subjects in class 12, and they appear in PQRS different subjects in CUET. So these students, they become ineligible when it comes to University of Delhi admissions. So as you can look in this particular diagram, if you appear in English and the same you take in CUET, then we call it that the subject is correctly mapped. You had English in 12th class and you took English in CUET, then that subject is mapped. If that subject is there, then we will consider that for admission. So in this particular diagram, you can see that there are four subjects which are common in class 12th as well as in CUET. Now there are 3 subjects, history, which was not there in 12th class. Even if you appear in CUET in history, University of Delhi will not consider this paper for deciding merit and giving you allocation. So this is very important to understand here. Last year, because last year the CUET was held for the first time, there was lack of awareness, or we came across hundreds of applicants which who appeared in different subjects in class 12 and different subjects in CUET. So we could not, although they were all good students, candidates, but we could not give them admission because of this technical issue. So please note it down. Everybody is highlighting this. We have highlighted it at more than one place in our bulletin of information. The registrars has just highlighted this. The ma'am has just highlighted this, because this is very, very important, and it makes many students ineligible in CUET. So please remember this, and do appear in the subjects which you have studied at 12th class. So when it comes to the minimum eligibility, we will talk about the program specific eligibility later on. But when it comes to the minimum eligibility, then all the candidates who have passed class 12th examination or equivalent from a single recognized board are eligible to appear in CUET and are eligible to take admission in University of Delhi. So now, after this minimum eligibility, I would like to talk about the program specific eligibility. Now, another very important point here is, again, with the perspective of from the University of Delhi point of view, is that it is again mandatory to appear in at least one language. Whether you are applying for BA Honors or you apply for BSc Science courses or technology or whatever, in University of Delhi, language is considered for deciding the merit list for majority of the programs. In few programs like Science, BSc Science Honors programs, where we do not consider language, for deciding the merit list, but even in those subjects, you have to appear in languages and score minimum 30% marks. So if you don't appear, or you appear and do not score 30% marks in language, then you will not be considered even for science courses or for any course. So it is important that to be eligible to take admission in any of the University of Delhi program, you have to appear in at least one of the language. And this language you must have studied in your class 12, which I just explained. Okay. So this is an important point which everybody should note down while you will be filling this CUET registration form very soon. So this is another very important point. Please appear in at least one language in which you have studied in your class 12th also. If you have taken two, if you have passed 12th class with two languages, you can choose to appear in one. You can appear in both, and we will consider the one in which you score the higher marks. That is up to you, but minimum one should be there. Okay, so one language is important to be eligible in University of Delhi. Okay, after this language, we come to the domain specific subjects, which is section 2 in CUET. So on the left hand side of the screen, you can see that these are the domain specific subjects. There are 27 in all in section 2 as per CUET. Now here it is important to note that if you want to take admission in University of Delhi, then you must appear in at least 3 subjects. Now what we have done, this is very important. What we have done in University of Delhi is that we have divided these 27 courses into 2 lists, and that is list B1 and list B2, which you can see on the right hand side of your screen. So these 18 papers, 18 subjects like accountancy, chemistry, history, mathematics, physics, psychology, Sanskrit, and sociology, these all 18 subjects are in list B1. The remaining 9 subjects, which is agriculture, graphics, entrepreneurship, fine arts, mass media, performing arts, physical education, and teaching aptitude, these 9 subjects we have classified or we have kept in list B2. You will very soon understand why we have done this. But in when I will take examples of program-specific eligibilities, then you will understand the significance of this, of dividing these section 2 into 2 subsections for Delhi University, that is list B1 and list B2. This is again very important. You must download the bulletin of information, go through each program, and then find out which program considers which subject from which list. It is important. It is important. So we will take few examples, like, you know, just to give you an why we have done this. I am taking an example that Delhi University offers admission on the basis of best of 4 calculation. So we pick best 4 papers in which you have appeared in CUET, and one of these should be languages for one of these should be a language. In science courses, we give admission on the best of 3 bases. There the language is not compulsory, but it is qualifying. So here in this example, I am taking few courses in which the admission is granted on the basis of best of 4. So best of 4 should be like in this example, if any student takes one language, it can be any language from section A. And suppose he takes, in this example, he takes political science, physical education, and history. So these papers, 2 of them are from list B1 and 1 is from list B2. This physical education is from list B2. So this candidate is eligible for most of the, for all these courses and many more. So this student is eligible. Then another example, if the student takes all the 3 in after language, 1 language and 3 more subjects, and these all 3 are from list B1, then also the candidate is eligible. So in these 2 examples, the candidate is eligible. But if somebody takes like this, picks combination like this, that is taking 1 language and only 1 subject from list B1 and 2 subjects from list B2, then this candidate will be ineligible for many BA honors program. So what makes them eligible and ineligible, and so you need to have a very detailed look. You should program wise look, and all the 79 programs and their specific requirements is, again, I would repeat again and again, that is there in Bulletin of Information available on our website. So now we come to the eligibility for these, which I have just taken. These papers, this example were based on these programs. Now for these programs, if you read the eligibility, which is highlighted on the right hand side, if you read the eligibility, then you will understand very clearly what is the significance of choosing subjects from either list B1 or B2. So I read it for you. For these courses, one language, which is from list one language. Now any 2 subjects from list B1. Okay, now the 4th subject can be from list B1 or list B2. So these are the combination which I just show you. So one language and any 2 subjects from list B1. Candidate cannot choose 2 subjects from list B2. If you choose 2 subjects from list B2, then you will be ineligible for these courses. So while filling the CUET form, you should have a look that this particular paper in which you are appearing falls in which list. So when we mention that it is in CUET you must appear in at least 3 subjects from section B. Ma'am showed this in one of her slide also, that it is important to appear in minimum 3 subjects from section 2. But this, you must ensure that these 3 subjects are from which list. So I would advise that you have a look, decide that minimum 2 papers should be from list B1. Okay, we at Delhi University will not consider 2 papers from list B2. Okay, so this is one type of eligibility, which is a simple best of 4 eligibility. Now we move on to the next type of eligibility. Here in programs like BA Honors Economics, here also the criteria is best of 4, but out of these 4, the 1 paper is compulsory, and that is mathematics / applied mathematics. You have to have mathematics. You must have studied in mathematics in your 12th class, and you should have appeared in CUET in mathematics. So this position is compulsory. This cannot be changed. So we are left with 2 more optional subjects. One is language, the other one is mathematics. These 2 positions are fixed. It is a best of 4 combination. 2 positions are fixed. That cannot be changed. Now for the remaining 2 subjects, one can be from list 1 B1 and the other can be from list B2, or both can be from B1. So all these possible combination we have tried to show in this infographic here. So best of 4 combination, language and mathematics, this is fixed. Now for optional subject, you can choose both from B1, that is okay. You can have 1 from B1, 1 from B2, that is also okay. But if you choose both from B2, then you are ineligible for BA Honors Economics. So please be careful while choosing your subjects in CUET. Yeah, this is the similar eligibility. BSc Honors Computer Science or BSc Honors Maths, BSc Honors Statistics. There is a similar in the sense that it is also best of 4 combination in which 2 positions are fixed, 1 language and the other one is mathematics. So same logic. You can choose the remaining 2 from B1, one from B1, the other one from B2, but you cannot choose both from B2. All right. So now here, this eligibility is related to science courses, honors science courses, BSc honors biological sciences, botany, geology, where the admission is given on the basis of best of three. Best of three. So in these courses, we will not be considering language to determine your merit and your rank and your allocation. We will not be considering language, but language here is a qualifying subject. Okay, so candidate must obtain minimum 30% marks in section 1, that is language, of CUET. So this one should remember very categorically that again, you must appear in one of the language. That is important, but scoring 30% marks, minimum 30% marks in that is also important if you are aiming for honors science courses from University of Delhi. Yeah, so these are another set of programs. Similar eligibility, language here is again qualifying, will not be considered to determine your merit, rank, allocation, or admission, but you should have minimum 30% marks in that. Now there are programs which have two different types of eligibilities. For the same program, you have two different types of eligibility. As in this case, environmental sciences, you can say that the combination one is PCB. Okay, so anyone who is appearing with PCB combination is eligible, and the other candidates who are appearing with PCM, they are also eligible. And there might be cases where the student may have given all the four: physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. So there will be different combinations for this particular candidate if he is aiming for environmental sciences. But you need not worry about that. You just appear in these paper as per the eligibility. The rest will be taken care of by the algorithm sitting at the back end of the Delhi University admission system. They will pick your best combination. So you will not, out of these possible combination, we will pick the best combination. If your score is, let's say, higher in physics, chemistry, and maths, then it will be considered even if you have appeared with biology but scored less mark in biology. So different combination may be there, but the best combination will be considered by University of Delhi. So yeah, now we move on to the another set of programs which have slightly different eligibilities, and these set of programs are language programs. So there are other 10 language programs offered by University of Delhi, and they have the eligibilities which are, again, there can be more than one combination. For example, in this case, in the case of BA Honors Punjabi, the candidate who have studied Punjabi in class 12th, right? So they will appear in CUET in Punjabi. So that is a very simple case that is eligible for admission in BA Honors Punjabi. But if you appear in some other subjects other than Punjabi, then also you will be considered under combination 2. And combination 2 is that you appear in any language. So the requirement of Delhi University is one language from section A. So if you have studied Punjabi, then it is good that you will come through combination A, channel 1. If you have not studied Punjabi or you appeared in any other language, then you come through channel 2. But it is important to note that the combination 1 will be preferred over combination 2. So it is very clearly mentioned in our bulletin that candidates who opted for combination 1, that means those students who have studied Punjabi in class 12, they will be preferred over the candidates who have not studied Punjabi in class 12. So we will first give admission to combination 1 candidates, And if we are left with vacant seats after allocating all seats to all the candidates who have offered who are coming through channel 1, combination 1. So this is preferential allotment. For in languages, Delhi University will give the preferential allotment, and preference will be given to the candidates who have studied that particular language in their class 12th. Right. So that was a different type of eligibility. I hope you must have understood that preferential allotment. Now we come to the other set of programs here, which consider this section which we have not talked about so far, and that is the section 3 of CUET. Section 3 of CUET is the general test, in which is a 1 hour test in which you have to attempt 50 questions out of 60. So this is ma'am just mentioned the number of question and the maximum number of questions. So this is section 3 of CUET. These are the programs, and there are a few more which consider general test also. So these are the programs in which we give admission on the best of 4 combination. That is, combination 1 is best of 4, but the students who appear in general test, they are also considered for these courses. Now the one question comes to our mind is that in combination 1 there are 4 subjects, and in combination 2 there are just 3 subjects. So the maximum marks here in these cases differ. Okay, so one set, combination 1 will be out of maximum marks for 4 subjects, while combination 2 is maximum marks of 3 subjects. So the weightage differs. In such cases, University of Delhi will carry out appropriate proration. Okay, now moving to the next set of eligibility, and that is another sort of a course, and that is BCom Honors. Here also we have 2 combination. We have the mathematics and applied mathematics. That is combination 1. And in combination 2, the candidate can now appear in accountancy also. So we will consider both the combination, that is language and mathematics, language, accountancy, and 2 more subjects. And the best combination will be considered for determining your merit and your allocation in a particular program in a particular college. Yeah, these are the programs: business economics, management studies, business administration, which were earlier, admissions in these courses were done through separate entrance test. Now these courses will also, are giving admission on the basis of CUET score only. So for these courses, again, 2 positions are, you can say the fixed. That is, you have to take one language from list A, and the mathematics / applied mathematics, whether it's missing here, there's a small typo here. So mathematics and the applied mathematics, that paper from CUET and the general test, that will form the basis of admission in these courses. This is one program which has slightly different minimum eligibility condition. In other programs, in all, that is Bachelor of Elementary Education. In this case, as I mentioned, all the candidates who have appeared or cleared 12th class from a single board, just passed, they are eligible. But in this particular case, since it is governed by NCTE 2014 regulation, the candidate should have at least 50% marks in class 12 only for this particular program. The other condition remains the same. The eligibility criteria is best of 4. And that is language and any 2 subjects from list B1, and the 4th subject can be from B1 or B2. Yeah, now there are many programs offered by University of Delhi. Many, I am using the word many because there are many programs in music, there are many programs, there are programs in physical education, there are programs in fine arts, which give admission on the basis not only of the CUET score, but the students will have to appear for a performance-based test. And these eligibilities for these programs will have two components. One is your CUET score. 50% weightage will be given to your CUET score, that is component 1. And the second component is the marks scored by the candidate in the performance-based test, which will be done at different in face-to-face mode by the departments or the colleges which are offering these programs, and the schedule for this will be notified later on. But that performance-based test, that carries 50% weightage. So these eligibilities which I just mentioned, BA Honors in Music and BSc Physical Education and Bachelor of Fine Arts, these eligibilities have two components. 50% CUET 23 score will be given and 50% weightage will be given to the performance-based test. This is what I just mentioned. This year, for the first time, last year, Bachelor of Fine Arts was not in our bouquet. Now, this year, Bachelor of Fine Arts admission will also be, done through the Delhi University registration and allocation process. And this will be, again, having two components, the practical-based test, which will be conducted by the College of Arts. So dates for this will be notified later on, but both the components in this program also have 50% weightage. Now we come to this a query which is very frequently asked, that if I am appearing in CUET in 12th class, is candidates normally have 5 or 6 subjects, but in CUET you can appear in up to 10. So, sometimes the mismatch happens, or sometimes, students appear in more than 6, 7, 8 subjects. So there this query comes to us, that which particular paper I qualify in a particular program with more than one combination. So which combination will be picked? So we have prepared an illustrative example to explain that. So if we, we have taken the example of BA Honors English here. Suppose you, appear in a particular, fulfill the requirement of English Honors. So you register at Samarth and appear in CUET with this combination, which are shown in green. So you choose English from section A. That is good. It's okay. Now you pick 3 papers from B1, list B1, that is history, geography, and economics. That is also okay, it's shown in the green. Now the dashed line which is separating B2 subjects from B1 subject. So this particular candidate has appeared in English, and 3 subjects from B1 and 2 subjects from B2. Now from these total six subjects. Now these 6 subjects will have these possible combinations. Okay, so all the combinations will be considered by the software, all the combinations. Okay, as you can see, the English, history, geography, and economics makes one eligible combination. So similarly, we have 7 combinations which are eligible. Now there are many combinations, which are 3 of them we are listed here. There are 3 combinations which we will not be considering, because that contains 2 subjects from list B2. And I have mentioned, again and again, that you cannot have 2 papers from list B2. Okay, so in such a scenario, you need not worry about the combinations or the n number of combination. Need not worry about that. We will automatically pick the best combination. In fact, we will compare all the combinations and we will consider all the score, and ultimately we will pick your best score to determine your merit and to give you a location in BA Honors English in this particular example. So I have tried to cover all the types of eligibilities, the variations in eligibilities, and the important points which you should consider before filling the CUET form, so that you do not, end up ineligible when you apply to the University of Delhi. If you go through the bulletin of information carefully and just find out, make a list, a separate list of the subjects in which you are interested, and then you go through all the programs in which you are eligible, all the programs, even if you are, eligible in 50 programs, you go through the eligibility of all these 50 programs, because in Delhi University they may vary slightly, and there may be some different thing in a different program specific eligibility. So I would suggest that go through each program, make a list, note down in which you might be interested in pursuing your graduation, and then look at the program, make a list. Even if there are 30, 40, 50 programs, do not worry, you have ample time, need not hurry. You can fill the form up to 12th of March. Almost a month is still there. So do not fill the form in haste. Make a list, prepare, note down all the eligibilities, and do not and appear in all the papers. I would suggest that all the papers in which you have studied in your class 12th. That is very important. So with this, I have covered almost all types of eligibilities in University of Delhi. Now, I would just like to tell you a few things, the few initiatives which might be important for all of you. And that is that we have a website. You can note down the URL here. The bulletin of information we have mentioned so many times in today's webinar that please download this document and go through each and every page and each and every word of this. Tutorial videos, English as well as Hindi of whatever we are trying to suggest or advise to the prospective candidates. We have prepared a video of that, and that is available on the website. Chatbots are also available, right? And yeah, but one and very important and the last point of today's is that merely appearing in CUET does not make you eligible for admission in University of Delhi. There is a phase 2 also. It is very important. Please note down that the admission in University of Delhi are given on the basis of CUET score, but you will have to register. You will have to register at our university, and the admission will be done through CSAS 2023. So you will have to register for Common Seat Allocation System of University of Delhi. This registration will start in the coming months, and the dates will be announced on the university website. So keep visiting university website. This is a system which will consider CUET score. It will ask for your preferences of the programs, preferences of all the programs in which you are eligible. Even if you are eligible in more than 1,000 combinations, then you can give thousands of combinations. You can give as many as you want. And in fact, we would like you to give the maximum number of preferences, as Registrar Sir said in her address, that give the maximum number of preferences. So that system which asks for your preferences, which consider your CUET score, then it will calculate your merit, and then it will, the college-wise, program-wise seat allocation will be done. You will be given certain time to accept that allocation and pay the requisite fee. So that process will start later on, and that process is CSAS 2023. Okay, so all of you who are interested or are desirous of taking admission in University of Delhi, it is mandatory it is mandatory for all the candidates to apply CSAS 2023 of University of Delhi. And this application is 100% online. We will not consider any submission, any, I applied through this channel, that channel. You have to come through CSAS 2023 for admission in University of Delhi. So I would conclude with this line that University of Delhi gives admission considering CUET score, but then you will have to apply for CSAS 2023 and the allocation will be done by that system. You will have to accept that allocation, pay the requisite fee. So the complete cycle will be carried out in the next 3-4 months, and we would request you to keep visiting NTA website, SAMAT website, and most importantly University of Delhi admission website. So with this I conclude and request the Anand sir to take questions if there are any. I would like to stop here. If there are any questions, then I would be more than happy to, discuss them. So I stop sharing my screen here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Amit Pundir. I would like to thank Professor Hanif Gandhi as well as you for explaining this process in so much of detail that I am sure that the candidate must have been benefited by this, and by now they must be clear that how they have to go. But since the beginning of the talk, we were getting certain questions in the YouTube channel chat. So I would just take up some of them. I would request both of you to just answer them. So the first question, I think you have already replied to this, but it talks about the procedure of the admission in University of Delhi after appearing in CUET.
Okay, so I take that. I think this one. So I just explained this. In fact, I concluded my presentation with this point only, that appearing in CUET is one of the requirement of taking admission in the University of Delhi. That is not the complete. If you appear in CUET, it does not make you eligible for admission in the university. You will have to appear in our registration process, which we call it CSAS, Common Seat Allocation System 2023, which will be announced soon. Okay, so you have to apply, you have to register in CSAS 23, and where we will be asking for your program choices, your program plus college choices. And we will consider all the programs and all the colleges which you opt for. We will prepare a merit list, and then the university will allocate you a seat according to your merit and the availability of seat. So that is the complete process, and you will be given few days time to make the payment. So this is how it works.
Yes, Anita. Yeah.
Just to, I think we'd also looked at some of the questions. I just wanted to give a little summary of like a takeaway to all the candidates. A few points to remember as takeaway from this webinar is, please appear in the subjects in which you have opted in class 12th. There is no deduction of changing the stream. If you've taken physics, chemistry, mathematics in your class 12th and you want to do history honors, you can do this by giving your CUET in this. But that doesn't mean that you cannot opt for more subjects in CUET. CUET gives you an option to select 10 combination of subjects, including the general test. So you can pick up any number of languages, any number of domain-specific subjects, provided at least the subjects that you've taken in class 12 are taken. So take those 4 or 5 subjects in which you're appearing in class 12. In addition to that, you can appear in any more subjects that you wish to. After you appear in CUET, and once the CUET exam is over, as we have been continuously saying, and Dr. Pundir, I'll echo what he's just repeated, and he has been repeatedly saying, after you, so look at the preferences, but when you're giving your preferences, do take the courses in which you will be willing to join the university if you're offered to. We will do more webinars to bring orientation and awareness on these aspects of choosing the preferences. But right now, it is the main focus is to give CUET well, appear in the examination. After this, the later stage, we will be doing several more webinars to, induct you on this process of filling the CSAS form. We'll do a detailed webinars on how to fill the CSAS form also. But currently the focus should be on selecting the subjects, appearing for CUET, preparing for CUET, and giving the subjects accordingly.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Gandhi, for just highlighting this point again and again, that they have to appear in the same subjects in which they appeared in their class 12. So there is a similar, like extension of this question, that some students have appeared in 6 subjects in their school. So they want to know that is it mandatory for them to appear in all 6 of them, or they can choose 5?
You can choose 5. You see, there is no compulsion. CUET gives you a platform to choose at least 10 subjects. But we suggest, why are you leaving the 6 subject as well? Because we will be picking up best of your performances, as our colleague, as my friend, Dr. Pundir has been repeatedly saying. We will pick the best subject combination in which you have appeared. We need only best 4, language and 3 other subjects. But there's no harm if you get, if you give CUET in 6 subjects as well, including general test. You must give general test, because for numerous programs, a general test is one of the criteria in the eligibility. So it also gives an additional benefit to give more papers, because then, we can pick the best performance. So it's not compulsory to give 6 for us. It is only important to give 1 language and 3 other subjects, as we've been saying repeatedly, within the eligibility criteria. But additional subjects are always welcomed.
Thank you so much. So another question again connected to this is that how many minimum subjects, minimum domain subjects they should select?
Minimum domain subjects,
Yeah, that's
B
what,
is,
yeah,
I think, minimum, but do take a careful look at the domain subjects which we have categorized in list B1 and B2. As Sir has also been saying that, you should be careful on the subjects which are specially listed in B2. Don't make a mistake of choosing 2 papers from B2 list, because then probably you will become eligible. You should be at least choosing, at least 2 subjects from list B1 for maximum of our programs. But all this we are saying with a caveat, do look at the program specific eligibilities. What we're telling you is a very generic template that at most, for most of the programs, 1 language, 2 subjects from domain from list B1 and 1 from list B2 will make you eligible for most of the programs. But do look at the program specific eligibility very careful before you make any decision on the domain specific subjects. List B1 and B2, do refer to them very carefully.
Thank you so much. So just a connected question again has come up, as you recommended that they must, appear in the general test. So some students want to know that, is it compulsory to appear in the general test?
I think Dr. Pundir can answer that. He's been saying this repeatedly.
Again, it is not compulsory, but it is advisable, because there are many programs in the University of Delhi which offer admission on the basis of best of 4, as well as on the basis of, general test. So I would like to put it like this. In University of Delhi, we offer, admission in many programs on the basis of best of 4. For these best of 4 combination, you should have at least 3 from the section B, that is domain specific. Out of these 3, you should have at least 2 from the B1. So that is, you should appear in minimum 3. Similarly, what advice would be that you appear in more than 3. That is the advice. That is not mandatory. That is an advice that आप और ज़्यादा में appear करें, so that we can pick the best combination. Similarly, if you give admission in, general test, which is not mandatory, but that will make you eligible in many programs. And since we would be picking the best combination, there might be scenarios where your performance in best of 4 maybe, less than your score in best of 4, maybe less than what you get in general test combination, and we will pick the best combination. So it is advisable. I am using the word, it is not mandatory, but it is advisable that you appear in general test.
I think it's a wonderful advice, just to widen the scope of the courses where they can get into.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, sir, another, I think, very frequent question is what is the last date of CUET registration? I think you mentioned it, but I think they would.
That is March 12th, 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
And there's a yes, sir. Yes.
there is also maybe a correction window, but people are asking about correction window also. We would like to apprise the students of one more factor with respect to admissions and registration to CUET. Please be very careful on filling the form. While filling the form, please be very careful to fill the fields correctly and accurately. Maybe in some of the fields, we will not allow you to change. For example, name, photograph, and your signatures. These will be auto-generated from CUET platform to our platform, to the University of Delhi platform, and you will not be allowed to change these 3 fields. So, we advise you before filling the form. See, sir just told you that there is ample of time. 12th March is the last day. Till 9 p.m. of 12th March, you can fill the form. Don't be in a haste. Please be very careful. Take out the printout before you submit your form. Take out a printout. Go through it very carefully. Consult your parents, and only then press the submit button. Think about the question papers also that you're selecting, because once you select the question papers, you may not get an opportunity to change it, to change your name. So category, don't be in a haste to fill a wrong category. Be very careful, because these are the fields which all the universities maybe will be taking up as it is from the CUET portal. So what you fill in NTA is of utmost importance. Be careful, be slow, don't be in a haste. Fill the form very accurately, because some of the fields will not be editable once you've submitted your form. So we suggest you to be patient in filling the form and don't be in a haste. Because people are asking about the correction window. We've not even finished the CUET deadline, and students are asking about the correction window.
Just one step ahead. So next query is about a hotel management course. That is that course being offered by University of Delhi?
Not through no. So I think that's another platform. No, we are not offering any course in hotel management.
Okay. Thank you. So another question is about the the score which they obtain in their class 12. That will they matter at any stage during the admission?
So you see, we are not considering class 12 to decide the admission merit. However, we may use this score if there is a need to break the tie. In breaking this, I suppose, for the same program, same combination, there are more than one students who stand at the same score, then perhaps the score of class 12 may be used to break the tie. So all this, I think, will matter later. Currently, only the CUET scores are important for admissions.
So another question is about the subject selection during the filling of form. So one student wants to know that can they choose English as a subject as well as a domain?
I don't think so.
English as a language, I mean, yeah.
I think so. Probably they want to say English is available only in the language part, only in section 1.
Not in the domain.
English, yes. English is not available in the domain. Sanskrit, however, appears at 2 parts. In languages also and in domain. This is the only language that can be considered as a domain-specific subject as well as language. So with respect to BA Honours Sanskrit, there are 4 combinations that can be opted out if you opt Sanskrit as a language, or if you opt Sanskrit as a domain, or either of these. So apart from that, no other language appears in the domain part.
Okay. So the next question is that how much percentage of marks are required to get into University of Delhi?
In class 12th?
Yeah, I think they still
want you to
class
pass class 12. We want you to pass class 12, but do well in CUET.
Okay. What about those students who have passed their class 12 last year? Are they eligible to apply?
Yes, you are. Please give CUET 23. Whatever age, it doesn't matter to us, minimum or maximum. If you passed class 12 last year or year before that, it doesn't matter. Please give CUET 2023 for admissions in university this year.
Okay. I think the next question has been already answered by Dr. Amit Punde, but still I will ask for clarity for more students that if a candidate chooses more than 3 domain subjects in the test, then how is the merit being made?
So Professor Panpudir will
answer it. That I explained in my presentation, and that particular example is also available on our website, so you can have a look at that in detail also, but I will explain again. So for the fulfillment of eligibility, we need 3 subjects, and if you appear in 4 or 5 subjects, then there can be more than one combination of subjects which make you eligible for a particular program. Suppose A plus B plus C gives you a certain percentage of marks, but A plus B plus D is also eligible and giving you higher percentage. So that way the computer, the system, the CSAS system, which we have designed and developed, that will consider each and every valid combination. Each and every valid combination, take its percentage and then pick the best one. So don't worry about that. You appear in maximum number of combinations and perform well, score good marks. We will consider all the combinations. We will not leave any combination, left, which is valid. So we will pick the best combination, decide your merit rank, and then we'll give you the allocation.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the next question is about the deduction of marks. Some students want to know that if they take physical education as one of the domains, will they be having some deductions while making the merit list?
No. Again, it is not the question of deduction. That is, there is absolutely no deduction of any kind for any subject or for any stream or from, moving from one stream to the other stream. So remember this, there is absolutely no deduction kind of thing in this year admission. It was not there in last year also. The only important thing is that the physical education, you need to find out that it falls in which list B1 or list B2. In most number of programs, you cannot have more than one paper from list B2. So that is important. If you have appeared in physical education from list B2 and that is the only paper from list B2, then physical education will be considered and there will be absolutely no deduction.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, another question is about the caste certificate. There is a similar question from Bihar and Haryana. They want to know, like EWS on OBC certificate, that they have their certificates issued from their respective state, which is Bihar and Haryana, but they are studying in Delhi. They have completed their class 12 from Delhi. So will they be able to use those certificates and claim some benefit? Aneet, ma'am?
So with respect to your certificates with respect to reservation for OBC and EWS, it is important for, let me first talk about the OBC certificate. The OBC certificate is important that it is issued for the financial year in which the admissions are going to take place. So for University of Delhi, the certificate should be issued after 31st of March 2023. I can understand that students may not be prepared with, obviously we haven't reached March 23. So right now, what NT requires, they have asked for a certificate which is issued till 31st of January. But when you come to admission in University of Delhi, which is after the CUET, by that time we recommend that you should be prepared with the current financial year. For 23, you should have a certificate issued after 31st of March 2023 for OBC, and also the caste or the category in which you are applying should be in the central list. The state list doesn't hold relevant for university admission in University of Delhi. The caste or the subcategory should be mentioned in the central list. For EWS, again, a recent certificate of the financial year will be required, issued after 31st of March 2023. It doesn't matter from where it is issued if you studied from Delhi, but we do not, let me point this out very clearly, we would need an EWS certificate and not an income certificate. We do not give admission on the basis of income certificate. The certificate should be an EWS certificate. The authorities which issue the EWS certificate are all mentioned on the website of the university. Please take a look at them. Thirdly, be very careful that the name in your certificate, now this goes for all the reserved category who are taking any kind of reservations, SC, ST, PWD, EWS, OBC, and for CW category, whosoever is claiming for any kind of reservation and is submitting the documents must ensure that the name mentioned in the certificate is exactly the same name in which you are appearing in CUET, and it matches with your class 12th passing certificate. So the name and father's name should match in your official documents, as well as in the registration form of CUET and University of Delhi. So be careful in your certificate production that your documents are in place before taking the admission to University of Delhi. They are in your name, your father's name or your mother's name are accurate and should match in all the documents. And for OBC and EWS, it should be issued after 31st of March 2023. So these are the things which are important for taking admission in University of Delhi. So I think this is made clear, perhaps.
So thank you so much. So there are some questions, pertaining to the eligibility. So I think the most popular courses like BCom honors, economics honors, and BBA. So I think this was a common question, that is mathematics compulsory for taking admission into these courses? BCom honors, economics honors, and
for economics honors, BMS and BBA, you may give your paper in mathematics or in applied mathematics, but yes, mathematics or applied mathematics is compulsory for all these three courses. For BCom honors, you can give paper in mathematics, or you can also give, accountancy. Out of these two, so in commerce, BCom honors, there are two combination of eligibilities. One is language, mathematics, and any two subjects from list B1, B2, or it could be language, accountancy, or any two subjects. So either you should take a paper in mathematics or accountancy. That is important for BCom honors. For economics honors, BMS, BBA, BFIA, mathematics is compulsory, or applied mathematics is compulsory.
Thank you. And another similar question is about, again, change of the stream. Like if a student has studied commerce in class 12, can they take computer science in graduation?
Okay. So computer science has, the eligibility to take admission in computer science is any one language, mathematics, and any two subjects, out of which one should be from B1. Now, these subjects could be commerce-based, humanity-based, or science-based, it doesn't matter. As long as you've taken admission, you've given your CUET in mathematics. So mathematics is a compulsory component, any one language and any two subjects. So the commerce students can opt for BSc in computer science.
Okay. So I think most of the questions are getting repeated. So I'll just take one last question, which is about the sports quota. That is that available in University of Delhi?
Yes, I think there is a lot of anxiety on EC and sports quota because students are filling the CUET form and they want to know, how they will come to sports quota of Delhi University. So once, you've done with the CUET form, when we will launch our common seat allocation system form, which will be subsequently in the subsequent months, then we will again ask you to fill the sports quota with respect to the requirements of University of Delhi. And similarly for the ECA admissions also, the ECA supernumerary quota, we will again request you to fill the ECA categories which are eligible for University of Delhi. For these two supernumerary quotas, there is a combination of CUET and the performance-based test. The 25% weightage is given to CUET score and 75% weightage is given to your sports performance or the performance in your ECA category, the extracurricular activity category. Nevertheless, right now, what is important is to pick the CUET subjects and meet the eligibility criteria. Subsequently, once we will launch our common seat allocation system, we will again request you to fill your preferences for the sports requirements with respect to University of Delhi and also for the ECA categories and subcategories with respect to University of Delhi. So this is what is important right now. In case, by the way, in case anybody wants to have further more details on all these aspects, they can go to the archives of last year and take an idea on how the admissions were done. There could be minor changes or major changes subsequently in the CSAS document, but to give you a little overview on how it was done, that that can be referred to the archives and last year's process. However, we want to tell you that there could be some changes in the CSAS later. So currently what is important is to fill the CUET form, and later for University of Delhi, we will again fetch the information from you, but some fields will not be editable. We want to repeat Be careful in your CUET form, your name, photograph, signature, and some other details like your category, etc. will not be editable. So please be very careful with the email ID. Oh yes, we forgot to tell you about the email IDs. Your email ID and phone numbers are also very important at this stage. In case you're getting the form filled by anyone else, say your father or your cousins or your relatives or your friends or from a cyber cafe, please be careful that at least the email ID and the phone number are is of the candidate, because all the information that is being communicated, it will be sent to these email IDs and these phone numbers which are registered. In case you give someone else's email ID, for example, a cyber cafe's email ID, then obviously the information will go there. So your form can be filled by anyone, but be sure that the particulars that are entered in the form are yours and only yours. The phone number, the email IDs are yours, or any close relative. Or for example, it could be your father or your mother, who's very closely related to you. Be very careful, because these fields are very, very important, and all the information with respect to CUET, with respect to University of Delhi or other universities may also be communicating only through these registered email IDs and phone numbers. So there are certain things, these are the things that you should be very careful of. Amit, would you like to add on more things which candidates need to be careful on? I hope I've not missed anything. Would you like to add more?
We have covered almost all the points, and in fact, in more than one way and in more than one time, we have covered the important point. Just that language point, which is very important. Minimum 3 subjects from section B, very important. And you have to have a look that these 3 are coming from list B or B2, or how many from list B1 and how many from list B2. This is very important. So you have to have a look at the bulletin of information to find out that. And do not fill the form in a haste. Make a list of the subjects in which you might be interested in pursuing your undergraduate. And then look at the subjects in which you have appeared in class 12th. Make the list of the programs, Delhi University UG programs in which you are eligible. Go through the program specific eligibility of each and every program. Make a note of it. They may differ significantly from one program to another program. So these are the few points which I would like, every candidate should, be very, very careful about these 4 or 5 points.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think the take-home lesson is that be patient, stay calm, read the bulletin carefully, and then decide on everything, and be very careful when you are filling up the form. Even a minor typographical error can later create certain issues.
Yes.
So I think that was a wonderful advice which has come from the dean and the joint dean. So with this, I think we'll close this webinar. But before that, I would just like to tell the prospective applicants that keep looking at University of Delhi's website for regular updates. We'll be holding a series of webinars in the coming weeks. So that detail will also be available on the University of Delhi website. And I would also recommend you to look at the University of Delhi website and not at other sources, because the information which you are going to get at the university website would be more authentic. So try and trust on that information which is being published on the website. So with that, we come to end of this webinar. But before we close, I would like to thank the registrar, Dr. Vikas Gupta, for coming and briefing the students, in spite of his busy schedule. I would also like to thank the Dean Admissions, Professor Hanif Gandhi, and Joint Dean, Professor Amit Pundir, for giving such elaborate presentation and then handling the presentation. I would also like to thank the staff at the DUCC and Admission Branch for providing the back-end support. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and good luck for CUET. And of course, the class 12th examination. Good luck to everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, good luck to everyone.
Just a few more minutes, our guests would be arriving. Namaskar. Season's greetings and a very warm good afternoon. On behalf of University of Delhi, I take the honor and privilege of extending a warm and cordial welcome to all the dignitaries, guests, delegates, teachers, students and friends, and my most worthy members of Samarth Bharat team who are here today to attend a milestone event in the history of the Indian higher education system, the launch of Career Development Centers, a joint initiative by the University of Delhi and Samarth Bharat team here at the Convention Hall, Viceregal Lodge, University of Delhi. It's indeed a privilege to have eminent dignitaries here with us at the dais. I now request our dignitaries to please lead in lighting the lamp, because light symbolizes knowledge and wisdom, and it dispels the darkness of ignorance. मैं आप सभी अतिथियों से आग्रह करूंगी कि प्लीज आप आगे आएं एंड दीप प्रज्वलन के लिए कृपया हमारा साथ दें. दीप प्रज्वलन से पहले हम नेशनल एंथम की ओर बढ़ेंगे. Yes, we'll stand here for the national anthem because आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव बिना हमारे नेशनल एंथम के शुरू नहीं हो सकता.
मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
धन्यवाद. एक विशेष आग्रह, दीप प्रज्वलन के लिए हमारे वॉलंटियर्स, हमारे डिग्निटरीज का साथ दें. साथ ही हम माँ सरस्वती को भी याद करेंगे, क्योंकि ज्ञान की अनुभूति माँ सरस्वती के वंदना के अधूरी है.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषार हार धवला, या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता, या वीणा वरदण्ड मण्डितकरा, या श्वेत पद्मासना, या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता, सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती, निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, dear guests. We all know that New Education Policy 2020 is all set to bring a revolution in the education system of our country, right from school to higher education, emphasizing on a holistic approach to education. rootedness in our cultural ethos and moral values, simultaneously emphasizing on skill development to meet industrial demands for economic development. It emphasizes on promoting innovation and creativity in the higher education system of India. To realize this vision of the NEP 2020, Delhi University will today join hands with the team of Samarth Bharat and would be signing an MOU with 20 colleges of Delhi University, playing an instrumental role in bringing together all the stakeholders from industry, labor, and academia together to ensure that industry is served with a skilled and efficient workforce, ensuring active student participation. Team Samarth Bharat, with its mission of promoting e-learning, Apna Kaam and Apna Udyog, is indeed doing great service to the nation. As University of Delhi celebrates a century of academic excellence from 1922 to 2023 till the present times, this event will definitely add to its glory. Taking a small halt, now we proceed towards introducing our very special guests of the day and also felicitating them. We begin with our guest, special guest. Here we have Mr. Arun Chawla. Okay, due to some unavoidable reasons, he couldn't join us today, so we move ahead. We have with us Shri Sanjeev Bhikchandani ji, who is the founder of Naukri.com. I request Shri Balram Pani ji, Dean of Colleges, to take the lead in felicitating dear sir. Thank you very much, sir. इनका तो कुछ नहीं करना। हाँ, ठीक है। Yes, I'll do it. Right. I now request Srimati Payal Magoji, Director Campus of Open Learning, to felicitate our very special guest, Srimati Ruchi Kalra, who is the co-founder of Business and Oxizo Financial. Yeah. We are fortunate to have her today in spite of her ill health. She's here with us today, taking out some time for us. I now request Sri Prakash Ji, Director South Campus, University of Delhi, to please come forward to felicitate Sri Yogesh Andley, who is the co-founder of InSquare Nucleus Software. Sir, please. I request the volunteers to please take the lead, come up on the stage. Thank you very much, sir. Moving ahead, I now request Shri O.P. Goyal Ji, President, Bhav Rao Dera Seva Nayas, to please come forward to felicitate Shri Abhishek Sinha, who is the co-founder and CEO of ECO. Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, I request Shri Vineet Bhatia Ji, patron Samarth Bharat, to please come forward to felicitate Shri Anubhav Dubey, co-founder of the Chai Sutta Bar. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, I now request Shonal Gupta, Project Head of Samarth, to please come forward to felicitate Shri N. Balasubramaniam, co-founder, Ken 42. Thank you so much, Shonal. I now request Shri Nikhil Bansal Ji, Director, Nextra Developers and Patron, Samarth Bharat, to please come forward and felicitate Shri Tenzin Thardo, Amma Bakery and Cafes founder. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Moving ahead, I now request Shri Rahul Singh Ji, General Secretary, Bhav Rao Dera Seva Nayas, to please come forward and felicitate Chairman, Agarwal Packers and Movers, Shri Ramesh Agarwal Ji. Okay, and yeah. Moving ahead with our schedule, we have our very own Delhi University Vice Chancellor's words of wisdom let me take a moment to introduce a brief profile of him. Professor Yogesh Singh completed his M.Tech. Electronics and Communication Engineering was his forte, and PhD he did in Computer Engineering, taking degrees from National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra, Haryana. His achievements: listed as the third best among the most productive Indian authors for participating in software engineering research, reported in Indian Computer Science Research Output. Okay. Big people do not need larger introductions.
Good afternoon, namaste. Mr. Sanjeev Bhikchandani, founder and executive vice president, Naukri.com. Ruchi Kalra, founder of Oxizo. Mr. Yogesh Adley, co-founder of IN. I don't have the full name. Then Kushabra Srivastav, Mr. Abhishek Sinha, Anubhav Dubey, Anurag Asthi, Mr. Ganesh Raju, Mr. Bala Subramanyam, Tenzin Thorade, Mr. Bharat Bhushan, Balram Paniji, Shri Prakash ji, Payal Magoji, and other respected dignitaries on the dais, and my dear friends, college principals, professors, faculty members, and my dear students. Good afternoon again. Today, we are here for a very, very important and important function in the life of University of Delhi, launch of career development centers. And this launch of career development centers in association with Samarth Bharat. And Samarth Bharat is an initiative of Bhavurav Devras Sevanyas. So this is a beginning for the introduction of different type of skill in the higher education system. And in the centenary year where Delhi University is celebrating its 100 years and India has completed 75 years of its independence. Congratulations to all of you. Today we have a good number of entrepreneurs here, those who have done very good in their life, and on behalf of University of Delhi, I welcome you all. Your presence will inspire, your presence will influence our young minds, our the potential entrepreneurs, and I hope that there's something good will come out of such an initiative. And you know, in 2011, I got an opportunity to attend a leadership program in the Yale University, United States of America, where they also invited good number of universities, they call it presidents, we may call it, in India we call it vice chancellors, and one of the vice chancellor was having discussion with me, and then he said, I am worried about the future of young generation of United States of America. Then I asked, why are you worried? Then he said, I have very important reasons for my worry. In the last century, manufacturing industry shifted from United States of America. Recently, service industry has also shifted from US. And now, if we have to create jobs for our country, jobs for our young minds, then only 3 words can save us. These words are originality, creativity, and imagination. If our higher education system would not work around these words, then it will not lead to innovations, and it will also further not lead to entrepreneurship. So these 5 words are the crux of the higher education system, and if America has to be a leader in the world economy, these 5 words can save us. So I was thinking these words are important, equally important for us, because we are also, our manufacturing industry is also facing problem. Our service industry is also very porous, fragile. It means what? We have to imbibe these words in our education system. That is what is expected from all of us, and this is a step in that direction. And these career development centers, which will be established in the first phase, 20 colleges of University of Delhi, which will play a very important role in creating the culture and opportunities for in the system of University of Delhi. And in the undergraduate curriculum framework also, we have made provisions for skills. We have made provisions for internship, apprenticeship, projects, and entrepreneurship. So in the curriculum now provisions are there, but this is only one aspect of the story, but it should be implemented correctly and in the way which it should be implemented. That's why we should have skill development center we are establishing. We should have career development center, now we are doing so, and we should have right kind of mindset and teachers in the university system, and such functions will play and help us, ignite us, influence us in that direction. And University of Delhi has also established a Section 8 company, Udmode Foundation, for establishment of business incubators in the different colleges and university. And this this company of University of Delhi will work very hard. It has already started working to create the right kind of ecosystem of entrepreneurship in University of Delhi. Right now, when I was looking the data, which is very important, that in the Indian economy right now, service sector is contributing 53.29%, and this sector is giving employment to 32% persons. 53% contribution, employment is only 32%. Industry sector, GDP contribution is 25.9%, but when it comes to employment, its contribution is 25%. Agriculture and allied sector contributing 20%, and when it comes to giving jobs or work to the people, it is 42.6%. We may say that the agriculture sector, good number of people are working in that sector. But that is not the sign of prosperity for any country. In all poor countries, more than 40% people are working in the agriculture and allied sector. That's why now Government of India is also taking initiatives to emphasize on machining and improvement in the agriculture sector, so that right kind of yield can come out. And as we all know, India is a lower middle income country right now, and our per capita income is only $1,50,000 per year, which is around $2,100. And high income, which we call it developed country, income should be $13,000 per year, per capita income. It means what? 6 times, we have to go 6 times to become a developed nation. And Prime Minister has set a goal for us in 2047, India will be a developed nation. It means what? Our economy size as well as everything should be 6 times. Then and only then we will be able to achieve. And this requires a growth rate of 8.9% precisely. And so we have to work on our strengths, digital initiatives, and what India has done with the digital technologies. We have to play in and around of our that strength. And one example which excites me is the UPI. What we have done it, no country in the world has done it, but we could do it. And thanks to the Government of India for launch this UPI initiative. We have good number of unicorns now. So we are in the right direction and on right path. Good number of startups are there. Now we have startup leaders here. And so we have to invest in the bright young minds of India. And this will happen only in the universities. That's why our responsibility is very bigger. Teachers should play the critical role in creating the right kind of culture. And then comes the last is the leadership. Because if we have right kind of leadership, things will be very easy and very different. If you want to establish your own organization also, leadership is very important. Jack Welch rightly said, before you are a leader, very good statement, very inspiring. Before you are a leader, success is about growing yourself. Before becoming a leader, success is about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is about growing others. So it means what? Those who want to start their own business, think about others, start the business for helping others, and then success will be very, very easy. And the leadership should have the mindset of the compassionate mindset. That's why we need compassionate leadership, whether it is in political system or in the business or in the entrepreneurship or startups. If we work towards the compassionate leadership, our success possibility and probability will be very, very high. And there are good number of success stories in this hall, and their presence will influence most of you, those who could do very well in their lifetime despite problems. So remember, my dear students, winners achieves despite problems, not in their absence. Problems will always be there, पर कोई बात नहीं, ऐसा चलता है. Someone has rightly said, डर मुझे भी लगा फासला देखकर, डर मुझे भी लगा फासला देखकर, लेकिन मैं बढ़ता ही गया रास्ता देखकर. डर मुझे भी लगा फासला देखकर, डर मुझे भी लगा फासला देखकर, लेकिन मैं बढ़ता ही गया रास्ता देखकर. खुद ब खुद मेरे नजदीक आती गई मेरी मंजिल मेरा हौसला देखकर. तो आप अपना हौसला बनाए रखें. ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a powerful welcome address. I now request Shri Bharat Bhushan ji, Chief Visionary and Patron, Samarth Bharat, and MD, Bharat Prakashan. Sir will speak about the Samarth Bharat and Career Development Center initiatives. Sir, please.
मंच पर उपस्थित आदरणीय प्रोफेसर योगेश सिंह जी, जब जब मिलता हूं बहुत इंस्पायर होता हूं. मैं कहता हूं कि अगर आप शायद शिक्षा में नहीं होते तो अच्छे राजनेता हो सकते थे, भाषण इतना बढ़िया देते हैं. एक एक नाम इतना भारी है कि शायद सुनने के लिए लाखों लोग लालायित रहते हैं, और हमारा सौभाग्य है इतने बड़े लोग आज एक ही मंच पर विद्यमान है. यूनिवर्सिटी की सारी टीम, मेरे मित्र बलराम पाणी जी, श्री प्रकाश जी, पायल दीदी, विकास गुप्ता जी, संजीव, मेरी छोटी बहन रुचि, योगेश अंगले जी, अभिषेक जी, अनुभव दुबे जी, थॉर्डे जी और बाला जी. बाकी हमारे समर्थ भारत के जो संरक्षक हैं, मार्गदर्शक हैं, ऐसे ओपी गोयल जी और हमारे परम आदरणीय रमेश अग्रवाल जी. मैं संजीव जी को कह रहा था, यार आपसे हाथ मिलाना डर लगता है. लोग कहते हैं आपका स्पर्श पारस का है, जहां हाथ लगाए में सोना बन जाता है. मैंने कहा मेरे को शाम को घर जाना है, तो ऐसा नहीं हो मेटल में कन्वर्ट हो जाऊं. समर्थ भारत का जन्म ये एक विपरीत परिस्थिति में हुआ. कोविड का समय था और हम लोग दिल्ली में खाना बांट रहे थे. 225 किचन्स चल रही थी सेवा भारती के सहयोग से, और हमको मालूम है इट वॉज अ वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टाइम. 2-2.5 महीने का वो जो टाइम था, उसमें हम लोग घर से बाहर निकलते थे तो घर वाले कहते थे कि अपनी परवाह नहीं है, मेरी भी परवाह नहीं है. आपको मालूम है कौन बोलता होगा? चलो बच्चों की फिक्र भी नहीं है, माँ बाप तो बूढ़े हों, उनकी देख लो, और अब तो तुम्हारे पीएम बोल रहे हैं, उनकी तो सुन लो, घर से बाहर नहीं निकलना. लेकिन जिन लोगों ने समाज की सेवा का व्रत ले रखा है वो ऐसी दीवानगी से ही काम करते हैं. तो 2-2.5 महीने में 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा खाने के पैकेट बांटे, 2 लाख राशन की किट बांटी. लेकिन एक दिन मैं सोच रहा था कब तक चलेगा ये, हाउ लॉन्ग, हाउ कैन वी कीप ऑन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग फूड, और कब तक लोग लाइन लगा के हमारे सामने खड़े रहेंगे, देयर हैज टू बी एन एंड टू इट। तो लगा कि फिर कुछ और करना चाहिए, लाइवलीहुड के लिए कुछ करना चाहिए। जिन लोगों के जॉब्स चले गए हैं, जिन लोगों के छोटे मोटे काम धंधे, और दिख भी रहा था कि इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू कम बैक सून, इतनी जल्दी वापस नहीं आने वाला है, और वी हैव सीन इट। बहुत सारे सेक्टर्स ऐसे हैं जो अभी शायद 2-4 महीने पहले ही, हॉस्पिटैलिटी सेक्टर ऐसा है, ट्रेवल नहीं कर रहे लोग, होटल्स बंद हैं, ऐसा लगता है 5 स्टार होटल यानी बड़ा आदमी वहां जाता होगा, लेकिन वहां पे छोटे काम करने वाले लोग भी रहते हैं। तो हमको लगा कि इसके लिए कुछ करना चाहिए, तो उसमें से समर्थ भारत का जन्म हुआ, और ऐसे सब लोगों के लिए हमने ब्लू कॉलर स्किल्स का एक स्किल डेवलपमेंट का काम किया। कोई बहुत साधन नहीं थे, बहुत ज्यादा पैसा मांग मांग के हम थक भी चुके थे, कोविड में बहुत लोगों से पैसा ले लिया था राशन बांटने के लिए, तो अब कहां जाएं, तो केवल संकल्प था, और उस संकल्प का परिणाम है कि आज दिल्ली में 19 सेंटर चल रहे हैं, और इन सब सेंटर्स के अंदर पिछले 1.5 साल के अंदर लगभग 1,500 लोग ऐसे हैं, मैं उनके चेहरे जानता हूं कि ये लड़की है, इसका नाम किरण है, इसके घर में माँ बीमार, पिता की डेथ हो चुकी है, छोटे बहन भाई हैं, 2,000 रुपए कहीं घर में खाना बना के कमाती है। आज वो समर्थ भारत के स्किल डेवलपमेंट सेंटर में काम सीखने के बाद में 20,000 रुपए पर मंथ कमा रही है। दे आर रियल लाइफ स्टोरीज। वो बच्चे मेरी आंखों के सामने आते हैं। हमने जो काम किया है उसमें लगभग, वो छोटा काम है, 1,500-2 हजार लोगों को स्किल डेवलपमेंट दी होगी हमने, बट मेरे को लगता है कि हमारे जीवन की सार्थकता इसमें भी है कि हम एक व्यक्ति का जीवन भी बदल पाए। तो आज वो बच्चे अपने पांव पे खड़े हैं, उनमें से अधिकांश ऐसे हैं जो 15,000 से 50,000 रुपए महीना कमा रहे हैं, उनको किसी के आगे हाथ नहीं फैलाना पड़ता है। ये तो थोड़ी सी समर्थ भारत की कहानी, वो कहानी लंबी है, वो एक एक जीवन है, लेकिन मैंने संक्षेप में बताया क्योंकि मेरे को मालूम है यहाँ सब लोग जिन लोगों को सुनने आए हैं उनको सुनने में उनको ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट है, लेकिन मैं केवल कहां से ये कॉन्सेप्ट आया। लेकिन जिस काम की आज हम शुरुआत कर रहे हैं वो थोड़ा अलग है। 6 महीने पहले प्रोफेसर योगेश सिंह जी से मिलना हुआ तो मैंने कहा कि बात तो चल रही है कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए नौकरी मांगने वाले नहीं, नौकरी देने वाले चाहिए, लेकिन हमारे सबके घरों में हम भी और हमारे माँ बाप भी बचपन से एक ही बात कहते आए, सुनते आए हम लोग, बेटा पढ़ाई कर ले नहीं तो नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी। द मिशन ऑफ द लाइफ इज टू गेट अ गुड जॉब, और नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी तो शादी कैसे होगी? दिस इज अ लाइफ मिशन। बचपन से यही सुना, पढ़ाई कर नौकरी कर। तो अगर आत्मनिर्भर बनाना है, इस देश को एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप वाला देश बनाना है, तो सबसे पहले तो माइंडसेट चेंज करना पड़ेगा। हमारे प्रत्येक के घर में हमको कहना बंद करना पड़ेगा कि पढ़ाई कर नौकरी कर। दिस हैज टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम मी, दिस हैज टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ अस। लेकिन एक इकोसिस्टम भी बनाना पड़ेगा। हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज, हमारे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, जो हायर एजुकेशन के सेंटर्स हैं, दे आर डूइंग फैंटास्टिक जॉब, पर इसके साथ साथ बच्चों के मन में यह भाव पैदा करना होगा कि बेटा पढ़ने के बाद में यू हैव टू डू योर स्टार्टअप, अपना काम करना पड़ेगा। तो ये एक विचार लेकर के इकोसिस्टम हमको शुरू करना है। ऐसा प्रोफेसर योगेश सिंह जी से मेरी बात हुई तो ही इज अ ग्रेट विजनरी एंड अ ग्रेट लीडर। उन्होंने कहा जरूर करना चाहिए, लेट्स स्टार्ट इट, लेट्स डू इट। एंड उसमें पहले उद्मोदय, पहले से ये कॉन्सेप्ट हमने यहाँ पर इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में स्टार्ट कर दिया है। तो देन वी थॉट ओवर इट, बात हुई हमारी, तो उसमें से ये आइडिया निकला कि हमको सब कॉलेजेस के अंदर एक कैरियर डेवलपमेंट सेंटर बनाने चाहिए और उसमें कुछ काम करने चाहिए। फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम। तो ऐसे लोग जो हमारे सामने जीते जागते उदाहरण हैं, ऐसे लोग वो अपने बच्चों से आके मिले। संजीव जी को पद्मश्री मिलता है और बाकी बहुत सारे लोगों की फोटोज हम मैगजीन्स के कवर पेजेस पे देखते हैं तो लगता है बहुत दूर है, बड़े लोग हैं कोई, बच्चे को लगता है हम नहीं बन सकते। बट व्हेन दे कम एंड इन ब्लड एंड फ्लैश इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस, तो बच्चों को लगता है यस, इफ ही कैन डू इट आई कैन ऑल्सो डू इट, इफ शी कैन डू इट आई कैन ऑल्सो डू इट। ये भाव निर्माण करने के लिए एक मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम स्टूडेंट्स के ग्रुप्स के साथ में मेंटर्स जो सामने बैठे हैं उनका रेगुलर इंटरेक्शन, और आप में से जो समय देंगे उनके साथ ऑफलाइन नहीं तो ऑनलाइन इंटरेक्शन। फिर कुछ लोग जो बिजनेस, इसमें 2 मॉडल्स हमने सोचे हैं, एक है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम और एक है स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम या डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम। तो जो कोई बिजनेस करना चाहते हैं, धंधा करना चाहते हैं, दे शुड हैव एन आइडिया व्हाट प्रोडक्ट टू स्टार्ट, तो उनके लिए ईडीपी प्रोग्राम, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, उसकी ट्रेनिंग। फॉर्चुनेटली अभी हम देखेंगे फिकी के जो डीजी हैं अरुण चावला जी, उन्होंने मैसेज भी भेजा है, ही वाज टू कम बट ही हैज गॉट स्टक अप समवेयर। तो उनके साथ कोलैबोरेट हमने किया है। वो कह रहे हैं कि जो भी बच्चे इंडस्ट्री के साथ इंटरेक्शन करना चाहते हैं, इंडस्ट्री विजिट करना चाहते हैं, वो हम उसके लिए पूरा आपके साथ सहयोग करेंगे, एंड दे आर गोइंग टू एंटर एमओयू विद दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी। और इसके बाद में एक बच्चे को रहता है कि मेरी कोई प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट बना दे, कोई बैंक वाला मेरे को मिल जाए जहां से मैं कुछ फाइनेंस ले सकूं, तो इसके लिए हैंड होल्डिंग, तो प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट मेकिंग गाइडेंस, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को बुलाकर या ऐसे प्रोफेशनल्स को बुलाकर, फिर बैंकर्स के साथ इंटरेक्शन, फिर बाकी और जो स्किल्स उनको चाहिए वो उनको देना। फिर एक है स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम, तो उसमें कुछ बच्चों को अभी वाइस चांसलर सर बता रहे थे कि बहुत सारे स्किल्स हम लोग यहां पर दे रहे हैं, तो उसमें एनएसडीसी के बहुत सारे स्किल्स हैं, वो हमारा ऑलरेडी उनके साथ कोलैबोरेशन है फॉर द 19 सेंटर्स दैट वी आर रनिंग। वो फिर इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर हमारा ऑलरेडी है, बच्चों को गाइड करना, दैट शुड कम एंड रजिस्टर विद इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर। फिर एक बड़ा चैलेंज रहता है हाउ टू गेट फंड्स, तो आप में से बहुत सारे ऐसे हैं जो ऑलरेडी अपने बड़े फंड्स चला रहे हैं। मैं संजीव जी से मजाक कर रहा था कि आप वही पारस वाले की, मेरे को लगता है हिंदुस्तान के टॉप मोस्ट जितनी स्टार्टअप कंपनीज है उसमें से मैक्सिमम के अंदर संजीव जी ने भी सपोर्ट किया है, फंड लगाया है। तो आप हैं, योगेश जी हैं, वेटरन्स हैं इंडस्ट्री के, ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो खुद भी वीसीज हैं, बट देयर इज एन इकोसिस्टम आल्सो वीसी फंडिंग का, उसके साथ लोगों को मिलवाना, एंजल इन्वेस्टर फंडिंग, जो लोग बच्चे हैं मेरे को लगता है दे मस्ट बी एबल टू कनेक्ट विद व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग। तो ये सारा काम करने के लिए कैरियर डेवलपमेंट सेंटर, इट इज नॉट द प्लेसमेंट सेल दैट वी हैव बीन वॉचिंग एंड हियरिंग फॉर मेनी इयर्स, इट इज देयर कैरियर पाथ ग्रोथ मैप विच वी आर गोइंग टू डू विद दिस कैरियर डेवलपमेंट सेंटर्स। तो मेरे को लगता है कि जितने बड़े लोग आज इस मंच के ऊपर हैं उससे बहुत सारे बच्चे भी बैठे हैं, उनको बहुत इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी, और साथ में ये कैरियर डेवलपमेंट सेंटर चलेंगे तो वी शुड हैव lot many startups coming from Delhi University colleges। सिर्फ अंत में एक थोड़ा सा उदाहरण देना चाहता हूं। आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने सुना होगा शिमोन पेरेस, वो इजराइल के डिफेंस मिनिस्टर भी रहे, इजराइल के प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी रहे, प्रेसिडेंट भी रहे। ही डाइड एट द एज ऑफ 93, और जब उनकी मृत्यु हुई उससे भी 1 साल पहले का इंटरव्यू देख रहा था, तो उनसे इंटरव्यू ने पूछा आप क्या कर रहे हैं, कहते मैं नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी स्टडी कर रहा हूं। एट द एज ऑफ 92 ही वाज स्टडीइंग नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी। उन्होंने पूछा व्हाट इज ये, शिमोन पेरेस ही वाज द फर्स्ट डायरेक्टर जनरल मिलिट्री ऑफ इजराइल, एयर स्पेस इंडस्ट्री उन्होंने शुरू की जब इजराइल के पास खाने के पैसे नहीं थे, न्यूक्लियर प्रोग्राम, सीक्रेट एजेंसी उनकी, ये सब उनकी देन है। तो उनसे इंटरव्यू ने पूछा व्हाट इज योर ग्रेटेस्ट रिग्रेट इन लाइफ। इतने बड़े बड़े काम करने वाला व्यक्ति बोलता है माई ग्रेटेस्ट रिग्रेट इज कि आई शुड हैव थॉट इवन बिगर, इससे भी बड़ा मेरे को सोचना चाहिए था। तो जैसा हमने सुना है आकाश में छेद हो सकता है, एक पत्थर तो हिम्मत से उछालो यारो। तो इसलिए उन्होंने ये भी कहा टू थिंक स्मॉल इज ए क्राइम, छोटा मत सोचिए। मैं आज के जो यंगस्टर्स हैं यहां बैठे हैं बहुत सारे बच्चे, उनको कहना चाहता हूं थिंक बिग। दे आर सिटिंग हियर बिकॉज दे हैव ऑल थॉट बिग इन लाइफ, छोटा नहीं सोचा है। और उन्होंने 1-2 बातें और कही, वो यहां मंच पे हैं वो सब लोग, दे आर एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ ऑल दीज क्वालिटीज। उन्होंने कहा कि ईगो इज योर बिगेस्ट एनिमी। मैंने जितने लोगों, मेरा प्रत्यक्ष अधिकांश से पहली बार मिलना हुआ है, लेकिन दे वर जस्ट अ फोन कॉल अवे, किसी ने एक बार भी मना नहीं किया। तो इसलिए कितने हम्बल हैं ये लोग। एंड टू सर्व अदर्स इज द बिगेस्ट वर्च्यू, ये मैं शिमोन पेरेस के शब्द बता रहा हूं। एंड ऑल दीज ग्रेटेस्ट पीपल सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस आर एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ दीज क्वालिटीज। ये शिमोन पेरेस ने नहीं बोला, ये मैं बोल रहा हूं। तो मेरे को लगता है कि आज के कार्यक्रम से हम दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के इतिहास में एक नए अध्याय की शुरुआत कर रहे हैं। मेरे को उम्मीद है कि निश्चित रूप से हम इसमें बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ेंगे। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Bharat sir, for your truly enlightening words. Now, here comes the moment, signing ceremony to be led by our very own VC sir of Delhi University and 20 principal of colleges and Shri Rahul Singh Ji, General Secretary, Bhav Rao Deora Seva Nyas. And I would like to request our registrar sir, Vikas Gupta sir, to please take the lead in introducing the 20 respected principals.
Thank you so much. Good evening to all of you. This is just a beginning. In collaboration with Samarth Bharat, in the first stage, we decided to have a collaboration and an MOU with 20 colleges. I would request the principals to kindly join. Professor Manoj Sinha, Aryabhatta College. Professor Gyantosh Jha, Atmaram Sanatana Dharma College. Professor Saloni Gupta, Bharati College. Professor Savita Roy, Daulat Ram College. Professor Hemchand Jain, Deen Dayal Upadhyay College. Professor Rajiv Chopra, Delhi College of Arts and Commerce. Professor Rajiv Agarwal, Deshbandhu College. Professor V.K. Paliwal, Dayal Singh College. Professor Pavan Sharma, Dayal Singh College Evening. Professor Rama Sharma, Hansraj College. Professor Dinesh Khattar, Kirodimal College. Professor Pratyush Vatsala, Lakshmibai College. Professor Sanjeev Tiwari, Maharaja Agrasen College. Professor Krishna Sharma, PGDAV College. Professor Ravindra Gupta, PGDAV College Evening. Professor U.S. Pandey, School of Upper Learning. Professor Arun Atri, Shahid Bhagat Singh College. Professor Vipin Agarwal, Shri Aurobindo College. Professor Jaswinder Singh, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College. And Professor Narendra Singh, Zakir Hussain Delhi College. I also request Professor Bayal Mango to kindly join the MOU signing. Thank you so much.
Kunal ji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vikas sir. Now, we would be running a video on behalf of Mr. Arun Chawla ji, Director General, FICCI, who could not make it to the event due to some unavoidable reasons. We have a video, special video, to acknowledge his presence. I apologize for the technical glitches. Just maybe one moment. Please have patience.
To learn that University of Delhi, which incidentally happens to be my alma mater, is observing its centenary year. I further feel privileged for being invited to speak at the launch of the Career Development Center at the university. Establishing a coherent and holistic career guidance system which creates a culture of lifelong learning has clear implications on the competencies, qualifications, and continuous professional development. Digitization and automation of work are considered to be the most important societal and economic trends that will fundamentally change the nature of work and shape the future nature of career choices and career development. Career guidance also promotes equity. Recent global evidence. I'm happy to know that a bunch of leading Indian entrepreneurs would be sharing their rich experiences with the participants in the launch program. This certainly instills conviction within students and inspires them from within to tread on exciting entrepreneurial ventures. At FICCI, we have been strongly advocating the need of developing a strong policy framework for career guidance and counseling in the country, and have been closely working with various stakeholders, including the government. I am confident that with the unprecedented repute and outreach of the University of Delhi, under the leadership of its Vice Chancellor, Professor Yogesh Singh, the launch of this center at the university will go a long way in defining the career development ecosystem in the country.
Some great insight coming. I now will introduce Mr. Sanjeev Bheekchandani, founder and executive VC, Naukri.com. Started in 1997 and today evaluated $8 billion, Naukri.com starting off from a servant quarter above a garage, and with seed capital of 2,000 rupees, the company grew and attracted investment from leading venture capitalists. It was the first internet company to list on Indian stock exchanges. Today, InfoEdge employs over 4,500 people. With these words, I request Mr. Sanjeev Bheekchandani, founder and executive VC Naukri.com, to please join us here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, sirs. Pehli baat, I'm an alumnus of Delhi University. मैं यहीं पे पढ़ा हूँ. I went to college here. So it is not as if Delhi University has not been producing entrepreneurs. We have been. And there are several of my friends who studied in Delhi University and have founded companies. I've been given 12 minutes to speak. I'll try and stay within that. The first point I'd like to make, and I'll refer to what Professor Yogeshji said, which is how important industry and services and innovation and imagination and creativity are for the economy. When I finished college in 1984, सन 84 में मैंने college खत्म किया, and I began to work in industry in 1984, and I look back 39 years ago to now, the Indian business landscape has transformed radically, dramatically, huge changes. It was not a revolution, it was an evolution over 39 years. Right? Most revolutions are actually evolutions, but in hindsight, we call them revolutions. Right? And when I look back, I realize that a lot of the buzz, the growth, the investment, the employment has come into companies and industries and sectors that did not even exist or barely existed in 1984. So IT services barely existed. IT-enabled services did not exist. Internet did not exist. E-commerce did not exist. Mobile telephony did not exist. Private sector telecom companies did not exist. Private sector banking barely existed. Private sector airlines did not exist. Mobile apps did not exist. Nothing existed. And today, this is what we are talking about mostly. Most of the headlines, the buzz is around this. Private sector participation in infrastructure did not exist. And so a lot of this growth is essentially new companies, new initiatives, new industries, very often led by startups. So Infosys, giant company today, in 1984, when I finished college, it was barely a startup. HCL Technologies, giant company today, right? Again, early 80s it started up. So a lot of the growths in the future will be led by startups of today. I think history shows us that. And therefore, startups become important. And therefore, when Delhi University is launching a career development center with an emphasis on startups, on entrepreneurship, I think it's a big step forward, sir. And I think it's a great initiative. Thank you. To the students here today, to the young startup entrepreneurs here today, to those who are thinking of doing startups, I just look back on the last, I quit my job and became an entrepreneur in 1990. So 33 years ago, we had 2,000 rupees. So first myth, you don't have to have a lot of money to get started. You need an idea. You need a customer who's willing to pay you. And we survived because customers were paying us, not because we had venture capital. There was no venture capital then. So most companies, successful companies, actually have not raised venture capital. Very few have. But they have got money from their customers. So tailor your idea, think of stuff where your customer will pay you. And then you can survive on that. If you get venture capital, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. So don't be intimidated. Second thing I'd like to say, Balaji said, Bada socho, dream big. I will add to that. I'll say dream big, but start small. Make your mistakes small so that if it goes wrong, you lose a little bit of money, you learn, you pick yourself up, you're able to move along. Right? And slowly, you'll start, in our first year of Naukri in 97 only, our turnover was 2.5 lakh rupees. But because, we had started small, not too much kharcha, our losses were only 5 lakh rupees. हमने 7 लाख में company चालू की थी, Naukri, in 97. 2.5 lakh rupees, next year we broke even. And then we kept on breaking even and making money and then growing. And we got venture capital and we grew even more. So take baby steps, get started, it's okay. Dream big, start small. The next point I'd like to make is solve an unsolved problem for your customer. If you solve an unsolved problem, your customer will buy without you having to sell. वो खुद खरीद लेगा. And when that happens, you get your price, you get your terms of trade, you get your advance payments, you get your margins, you get your profits, and you keep growing through internal accruals, and that's how we did it. We focused on solving unsolved problems. But to figure out what's an unsolved problem, you need to have a very clear focus on your customer. Who is your customer? And only when you understand the customer will you understand the unsolved problems. So I'll summarize this point by saying that successful businesses are built on deep customer insights. Deep customer insights about what? About unsolved problems. I'll give you an example. I met Deepinder Goyal, the founder of Zomato, for the first time in 2010. It was just a startup. We were looking to invest. I reached out to him, I met him. And I had been using Zomato, that time it was called Foodie. I had been using Zomato for a few months. And what I liked about it was it was the only website, restaurant website, which had all the menu cards. बाकी सबके पास photo थी, address थी, review थे, but menu card नहीं था, right? And I used to use it to figure out what to order from where or where to go and eat. भाई यहाँ पे this is at this restaurant at this price. I found it very useful. So I asked him, Deepinder, ये idea कहाँ से आया कि सारे menu card डालने हैं? Okay, and he said, I was working in Bain Consulting in Gurgaon, and it was an office where there were 50, 60 people working, mostly young, mostly male, many living away from home, which basically meant they wouldn't bring food from home for lunch. Consulting hours were long. You invariably ended up eating lunch and dinner in the office. Office had a cafeteria which would not serve food. You could bring your own food and eat it. So to make life easy for the employees, the admin staff had collated all the menu cards of all restaurants that would deliver there. Maybe 70, 80 restaurants, and put them in 2 files in the cafeteria. And Deepinder said, at 1 o'clock I would go down, I've got deadlines to meet, I'm very busy, my boss is after me, I would have to wait 20 minutes to access the file, lambi line lagti thi. I'd look at it for 2 minutes, I'd phone up the restaurant, order, then go back for an hour, the food deliver hota, I'd come and pay, and then eat it. Huge pain. So this is one Sunday I came in, and I scanned all the menu cards and uploaded them on my personal page on the office intranet. And in 3 days' time, the head of IT infra in the office came to me. I said, man, what have you done? How come 95% of internal traffic is going to your page? Right? The customer had told him that aggregation of menu cards has got value. It's an unsolved problem. It is an unsatisfied need. He began to go out every weekend to restaurants around Delhi. जब 800 हो गए थे, picking up menu cards. जब 800 हो गए थे, he just launched the site and it began to work. And that's how Zomato started. No big venture capital, not a lot of money, just going on his motorcycle to restaurants, picking up menu cards on Sundays. Right? So Zomato started small. It's a huge company today. It's a very valuable company today. It's listed. But it started small. Naukri started small. Most big companies start small. So it's okay to start small. It's okay to not have money. You can still make it. The last point I want to make is most companies take 10 to 15 years to succeed. And there's a certain period of struggle in the beginning, right? Where you have to somehow survive. There'll be times when you can't, I remember there used to be sometimes at the end of the month, on the 28th, there'd be no money in the bank, and humko 31 ko tankha deni padti thi, and I would wonder where the money is going to come from. But aa jata tha. But we never defaulted on salary, but life was tense. There will be struggle. In the first 10 years, before we raised venture capital, for roughly about 6 years, I could not take a salary. I used to come and teach at various business schools in and around Delhi on weekends as visiting faculty, just to earn a little bit of pocket money because the company could not pay me a salary, and I had to survive. So you'll bootstrap, you'll get by, you live by your wits, and it'll be all right. I would say you must consider, at least think about it, of doing a startup if you're interested, and don't be intimidated by the large successful companies you see. All of them started small, and they started with no money. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such inspiring words. Srimati Ruchi Kalra, co-founder and CFO of business and co-founder and CEO of Auxizo. Off Business started in 2016, and today it is evaluated $5 billion. OFB Tech. Off Business is a tech-enabled platform that facilitates raw material procurement and credit for the SMEs with focus in the manufacturing and infrastructure sectors. Oxyzone started in 2017, and today it is evaluated at $1 billion. Oxyzone started as the B2B unicorn of business groups financing platform. It provided working capital financing matched with a cash flow for buying raw materials for SMEs in the traditional sectors of the economy, such as manufacturing and subcontracting. MAM has a list of awards. Off Business and Oxyzone received Emerging Startup and Off Business Emerging Startups, Top B2B E-Commerce Startups, Financial Services Company of the Year by VC Circle, and it will be great if... Thank you, and thank you for being with us in spite of being unwell.
Thank you so much. Really inspiring words just before me. One word stuck in the initial, actually, when ma'am was introducing everybody, said apna kaam, and I think that's the theme today. But before we go to apna kaam, something came in my mind, and this is one of the principals of the school who actually said it once. पढ़ाई करो तो अपने लिए करो. I think अपना काम अगर आपने करना है तो उससे पहले होता है अपना समझ के काम. जो भी आप काम कर रहे हो उसको अपना समझ के करो, और उससे पहला स्टेप है जो आज स्टूडेंट्स हैं और प्रोफेसर्स हैं यहाँ पे, कि पढ़ाई करो तो अपने लिए करो. क्योंकि वहाँ से अगर आप शुरू करेंगे कि अपने लिए पढ़ाई की, फिर उसके बाद जो भी काम किया अपना समझ के उस काम को किया, तो शायद आप तैयार हैं अपना काम करने के लिए. तो वो वर्ड अपना मेरे जहन में रहा, तो इसलिए मेरा मन किया कि इधर से ही शुरुआत की जाए आज की. हमारे लिए ऑफ बिजनेस आज उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया कि ठीक है फंडिंग उठाई है, लेकिन 7 साल पहले व्हेन वी यूज्ड टू गो मीट इन्वेस्टर्स, तो लोग कहते थे आइडिया क्या है. आइडिया क्या है कि इंडिया बहुत बड़ी मार्केट है, बहुत सारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स हैं, हम अपने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेटअप्स में स्टील यूज़ करते हैं, बिटुमिन यूज़ करते हैं. इन्वेस्टर्स को समझ ही नहीं आया. शायद उनको पिज़्ज़ा समझ आता था कि घर पे डिलीवर हो जाता है, बट ये सरिया क्या होता है, राइट. बट उन्होंने कहा अच्छा बताइए यूएस में ऐसी कौन सी कंपनी है जो ऐसा काम करती है. मैंने कहा हमारे पास कोई नाम नहीं है, क्योंकि ये इंडिया के लिए है, इंडिया के लिए है, एंड वी आर कॉन्फिडेंट व्हाट वी आर सेइंग वर्क्स फॉर द इंडियन मार्केट, इवन इफ इट डज नॉट हैव अ पैरेलल इन द यूएस, इट्स ओके. सो आई थिंक आप कुछ भी करना चाहते हैं उसके लिए सबसे पहले इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपका कन्विक्शन होना चाहिए. जिस मार्केट में आप जा रहे हैं, जो भी आप करना चाहते हैं, दैट इज लार्ज इनफ एंड इट इज नॉट अ कॉपी ऑफ समवन. किसी का कॉपी बनाएंगे तो अपना अस्तित्व चला जाएगा. तो ज़रूरी है कि डू इट फॉर द कंट्री दैट यू बिलोंग टू, फॉर द मार्केट दैट यू नो वेल, एंड मोर इम्पॉर्टेंटली थिंग्स दैट यू नो वेल. प्ले टू योर स्ट्रेंथ्स. किसी की तरह बनेंगे कि वो पढ़ाई में अच्छा कर रहा है तो हमें करना है, उसने वो किया तो मुझे करना है, उसमें खो जाएंगे. सो आई थिंक फॉर अस आवर जर्नी सबसे बड़ी लर्निंग ये रही है कि अगर आपको ये पता है कि मार्केट बड़ी है और उसका कोई पैरेलल नहीं है, सेम नाम कहीं नहीं मिल रहा है, तब भी आपको कन्विक्शन है तो अपने हिसाब से, अपने स्ट्रेंथ्स के बेसिस पे उस काम को शुरू कीजिए. ये सिर्फ काम शुरू करने की बात नहीं है, बिकॉज बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स ऐसे थे कि अब जिस तरह से कॉलेजेस, एजुकेशन and job opportunities are there, it is also not just starting your own business but also working within startups, right? तो startup ecosystem में या फिर एक established company के अंदर क्या differences हैं. I think हमारा education system जैसे बढ़ रहा है, it's important for students to understand, and I'll just leave a few thoughts there as well. Off business से पहले मैंने McKinsey में भी काम किया 9 साल, इधर काम करते हुए 7 साल हो गए हैं. तो अगर मुझे कोई डिफरेंस देखना है तो वो 3 एस्पेक्ट्स में होता है. किसी भी जगह पे आपने ज्वाइन किया एज योर फर्स्ट एम्प्लॉयमेंट. सेकेंड, पहली चीज़ ये होती है कि काम क्या है. आपने एक एस्टैब्लिश कंपनी में किया, आपके पास एक अच्छा सा फोल्डर होगा कि ये आपकी जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन है, आपको ये करना है, इतने बजे आना है, इतने बजे जाना है, और आपसे एक्सपेक्टेशन है, ये KPI है, आपने ये कर लिया तो आपकी रेटिंग इतनी होगी. जब आप स्टार्टअप ज्वाइन करते हैं या एक नई कंपनी ज्वाइन करते हैं, स्टार्टअप बहुत फैंसी वर्ड है, बट आप कहीं पे भी छोटा बड़ा, जैसे भावे ने भी बताया कि समर्थ भारत उन्होंने जब शुरू किया, राइट, सबको खाना पहुंचाना था, वही एक ऑब्जेक्टिव था। कोई एसओपी नहीं लिखा हुआ था, कोई गाड़ी चलाते हुए कोई गूगल मैप नहीं होता है यहाँ पे स्टार्टअप में, राइट, कि आपको यहाँ से वहाँ पहुँचना है, कैसे पहुँच सकते हैं, आपको वो गूगल मैप खुद बनाना पड़ता है। तो आई थिंक व्हाट यू शुड एक्सपेक्ट इन द वर्क कल्चर इन अ स्टार्टअप इज द फैक्ट कि सब कुछ डिफाइंड नहीं होता, बट साथ में आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्टेड है कि अगर वो चीज़ डिफाइंड नहीं है तो आपको वो डिफाइन करनी है। क्योंकि हम सब लोग जब एक नई जगह पे जाते हैं कहते हैं मज़ा नहीं आ रहा यार, कुछ पता ही नहीं क्या करना है, क्यों नहीं खुद खड़े होके बोले कि नहीं समझ आ रहा है तो हम इसको बनाएंगे। सो आई थिंक पहला जो एक माइंडसेट डिफरेंस चाहिए फॉर ऑल द न्यू जनरेशन पीपल हु विल बी गोइंग एंड गेटिंग एम्प्लॉयड इन अ स्टार्टअप इज एवरीथिंग इज नॉट डिफाइंड. So that's what you should expect. Things are not defined, things are, but there is a lot of energy, right? But what is expected out of you is the fact कि आप उस चीज़ को बनाने में, उसके बाद अपना काम समझ के उसको बनाने में एकदम कंट्रीब्यूट करें. कल्चर जैसे मैंने कहा कि बहुत एनर्जी रहती है, बट ये नहीं यार, ये इससे लड़ रहा है, इनको तो समझ ही नहीं है, ये तो इसको एक्सपीरियंस है, इसको एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है. वो आपको काफ़ी डिफरेंसेस देखेंगे. लेकिन क्या आप जाके बोल सकते हैं कि देखिए मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये कंपनी ऐसी हो फ्यूचर में. सो यू डिफाइन द कल्चर. सो अगेन द माइंड सेट इज डिफरेंट इन वर्किंग फॉर अ स्टार्टअप और एक्चुअली बिल्डिंग अ स्टार्टअप. इज डू आई टेक द ओनरशिप एंड से दैट दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट दिस कंपनी टू लुक लाइक. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, डोंट आस्क व्हाट द कंट्री कैन डू फॉर यू, आस्क व्हाट यू कैन डू फॉर द कंट्री. इट्स द सेम थिंग. डोंट आस्क कि ओके ये सब इट्स ऑल स्प्रेड आउट, why is it not organized? You have to say, okay, how do we get it organized so that the next 10 people who are going to join have a much better experience? Or if we have to achieve this, how do we do it? So that mindset is very important. Last में काफ़ी लोग पूछते हैं जब ज्वाइन करते हैं हमसे कि हमारा ग्रोथ पाथ क्या रहेगा. तो एक सिंपल एग्जाम्पल रहता है कि जैसे अगर आपने मटका देखा है, आप देखते हैं लोग पेंट कर रहे होते हैं, उससे वेरी क्लियर होता है ये डिज़ाइन है, ये पेंट करना है, राइट, वेरी स्ट्रक्चर्ड. एक दूसरा होता है मटका बनाना. आपने 100 लोगों को बिठा दिया, उनको पता नहीं है कैसे बनाना, बट वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि कैसे मटका बनाया जाए. उनमें से क्या 3-4 लोग अच्छा बना लेते हैं, तो सडनली जो लीडर होता है वो क्या कहता है कि भाई तेरे से बन गया ना, तू ऊपर आ जा, बाकी सबको सिखा दे. That is what growth in a startup is, that everybody is equal, and as soon as you are doing it well, you put in your heart into it, you get elevated. In our organization, most people, in fact many from the different DU colleges joined, and I believe nahi karenge, within 3 years, 4 years, even in 2 years, they are actually leading verticals. Within 3 to 4 years, someone is leading, raising capital for the company. Within 3 to 4 years, someone is leading seal as a vertical. Kaise? Because between everybody, they took that step forward to say कि भाई I am going to do this, I am going to do this better. So उस startup में age is not defining what your level can be. So the growth can be exponential. And when do you decide that okay, I am not just a part of the startup, I want to have my own startup? I'll actually go back to some of the themes that everybody said. is जब आपका केंद्र आपसे हटकर दूसरों पे चला जाता है, तब आप रेडी होते हो स्टार्टअप करने के लिए. अगर मैं अपने प्रीवियस एम्प्लॉयमेंट में जाऊँ, मुझे बहुत रहता था मैकिन्जी में, मैंने इस प्रोजेक्ट पे कैसे किया, मेरी रेटिंग क्या होने वाली है, हाउ एम आई गोइंग टू परफॉर्म. इट्स लाइक ऑलवेज, बिकॉज इन एग्जाम्स इट्स ऑलवेज अबाउट मैथ्स में मार्क्स कितने आए, इंग्लिश में कैसे मार्क्स आए. इट्स ऑलवेज द सेंटर इज यू. आज की डेट में अगर कोई मुझसे पूछे पिछले 7 साल में व्हाट इज योर बिगेस्ट अचीवमेंट, इट सडनली बिकम्स ओके वी क्रिएटेड 100 लीडर्स, राइट, और आई एम सो प्राउड ऑफ दिस टीम विच इज एक्चुअली गॉन देयर. सो जब आपका केंद्र अपने से हट के दूसरे पे होना शुरू हो जाता है, then you are actually ready for entrepreneurship. And if it's not there, if your thing is just about yourself, मैं, तो आप अब अभी ready नहीं हैं, is a way. And these were some of my learnings, and I just close by saying that when you dream of something, it just feels very impossible. You try to dream of it again, it becomes a little improbable. But when you actually summon the will and you say you want to get there, it suddenly seems inevitable. So all the best to everybody who's here. For all the students that you are actually under your mentorship, and all the best to everybody who actually wants to start up or actually be a part of the startup ecosystem. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi ma'am. Your words were truly pragmatic. I would now like to say a very few words about the startup by M. Balasubramaniam, Bala MS. It's Ken 42. Ken 42 helps educational institutions cater to all their evolving needs from a single unified platform. This platform has been designed to help the institution deliver better learning outcome for students, sharper insights for promoters, automation of time-consuming tasks for administrators, and improved teaching experience for faculty. Sir is the co-founder and chief growth officer. So I please request you to come and deliver words of wisdom.
Thank you. Respected Vice Chancellor and Arun Shavlaji, the FICCI team, thanks for inviting me. Dignitaries on the dais, up the dais. Student friends, academicians, very good evening and namaste to everybody. I'm just going to share three things. This one is for the job seekers, other for the job givers, and another one for the university and the college. Fortunately, I come from the four pillars of the ecosystem, right? I've been part of the corporate industry for the last 20 years, being a CEO of many multinational companies, former chairman of NASCOM. And I come from the academia. I'm a chairman of IIIT Sri City and working closely with the National Educational Policy. I come from the government, holding some positions in the Ministry of IT, and I come from the startup Ken 42. So I'm able to correlate the four pillars, which is a very vital part of this ecosystem. For the job seekers, I'm sure the principals and academicians will take this to your college and the university. The shift is totally changed. There were days where we used to talk about employability. Today, everything is more to deployability. So no more employability. The day one, when we hire students, we want them to work. So that's how the trend has been shifted. There were days where we used to hire the students and train them for 90 days, 6 months in our training center. Days are totally gone. It's like train and then hire. So who will train? Probably the college, the institution, or self-training. So the total shift has been totally moved. We used to see days where hundreds and hundreds of students used to get hired. We used to say volume hiring. Today it is moved to value hiring. So what value one can possess if they get into corporate world? So this is the key three key trends that's been looked at by the industry. So this is a message from my side for the job seekers. For the job givers, basically the startup is the emphasizing here in this event. So the startup founders as well as the angel investors, there are 5 T's I would like to share. The first T is the thought and thinking. Today the investors basically spend time about the idea. What is the idea? How long this idea is going to take it forward? What is the value in it? Who is going to be a customer? So first T is the thought and the thinking. Second T is the team. Basically the startup team have to focus on building the ecosystem within the startup, be it the advisory team or board of governors or board or the core team, because over a period of time I've seen a lot of startup getting into a lot of troubles. So forming the team plays a major role. And the third T is technology. Today technology is although it's an enabler, without technology, irrespective whether a tech startup or a non-tech startup, technology plays a major role. And the fourth T is basically the traction. This is very, very important because the traction is something where you strategize and you look at the opportunities and make sure the whole startup is channelized. So the traction is very, very important. In fact, we need to deliver in terms of number of customers using our product, the transaction volume and the value, and how are we going to deliver and so on and so forth. And the last T is nothing but the TAM, the total addressable market. The TAM, SOM and SAM. The sizable addressable market and sizable optimizable market. These are the 5 T's which the startup founders or the angel investors would be willing to do. The third point which I want to share to the universities, today Fundamentally, it's great to see University of Delhi as a 100 years old institution have created a career development center for startup. The most important today, not necessarily the startup founders or the students have to wait for an angel investor or a private equity or a venture capital. Today, at least to my knowledge, at least there are 25 to 30 different schemes are available by the state government and the central government. I can give a couple of examples. Take STPI, Software Technology Parks of India, have established 27 Center of Excellence across India, specializing in the specializing in different areas with a seed capital of grants of about 25 lakh rupees. So like that, multiple, and like TBA, Technology Business Incubator, gives us about 8 lakh rupees for the entrepreneurs in-house resident, as well as to the seed capital to the entrepreneurs. So I think these are the immediate two things that comes to my mind. There are a lot of schemes are available. I would request Honorable Vice Chancellor and the team of faculty members to conduct a session and gather all the schemes that are available, especially for the seed grants, that will help the students to set up the startup ecosystem. And one important thing I wanted to share, which came out of the global survey, today what is important that is expected out of the students, whether they're going to be job giver or a job seeker, a few things that comes to my mind. One is the communication skill, the critical thinking, the curiosity, empathetical skill, collaboration, respecting the fellow. These are all the various very important. Of course, technology plays a last out of the survey, but the first few things which I mentioned are truly lacking day by day. I think it is a responsibility of the ecosystem who are present here to ensure these thought processes are nurtured in the students, which is very important for the success of themselves as well as for the institution and for the nation. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Yogesh Andle, co-founder in Square. The startup started in 2011 and today evaluated $4 billion. In Square, Inclusive Innovation in the New Normal is a social enterprise founded by alumni of Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and like-minded leaders with focus on emerging trends in the new normal, managing change through innovation, enabling equal opportunities through diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sir, please.
नमस्कार। मुझे लगता है कि मुझे अपनी कहानी सुनाने की बजाय एक दो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जिनको मेंटर किया है उनकी कहानी सुनाना बेहतर रहेगा। शायद आपको उसमें ज़्यादा मज़ा आए, है ना, ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट आए। तो एक कहानी मैं सुनाना चाहूँगा। एक यंग कपल मेरे पास आए और जो उनकी वाइफ थी, शी इज़ अ ट्रेन्ड स्पीच थेरेपिस्ट एंड हस्बैंड इज़ एन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर। और इन्होंने कहा कि हम जो है स्पीच थेरेपी और स्पीच जैसी समस्याओं के साथ वी आर एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग विद इट एंड वी फील दैट वी हैव डेवलप्ड अ प्रोडक्ट विच कैन हेल्प स्पीच इम्पेयर्ड चिल्ड्रन, स्पीच इम्पेयर्ड एडल्ट्स टू डू बेटर। वेरी नाइस, बहुत बढ़िया। तो बताओ कहाँ क्या कर रहे हो, कैसे कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने अपनी कहानी सुनानी शुरू की और जो कहानी सुन के हमें जो एक चीज़ अच्छी लगी उनकी कहानी में, वो ये था कि जो स्पीच इम्पेयर्ड बच्चे हैं उनको स्पीच थेरेपी देने के लिए स्पीच थेरेपिस्ट के लिए पास जाना पड़ता है और हफ्ते में एक बार जा पाते हैं, एक्सपेंसिव है। उन्होंने उसको एक डिवाइस के माध्यम से, डिवाइस के थ्रू मदर्स को एम्पावर कर दिया कि वो घर पर ही स्पीच थेरेपी सेशन दे सके। हफ्ते में एक बार जाए थेरेपिस्ट के पास, समझ के आ जाए क्या देना है और पूरा हफ्ता तक उसको रिपीट कर सके। एंड सडनली द रिजल्ट्स वर वेरी 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 गुड। नाउ दिस टेक्नोलॉजी they then took to many other places and today that enterprise has developed solutions for a ear problem। बहुतों को सुनने में कई बार लगता है कि कान में घंटी बज रही है, बहुत से लोगों को लगता है। इसका कोई बेसिस नहीं है, मगर हाँ घंटी बजती है, इट्स अ न्यूरोलॉजिकल इशू और कोई दवा भी नहीं है। सिर्फ दवा है आपको अपने माइंड को रिट्रेन करना है। उन्होंने एक डिवाइस बना दी है उसको माइंड को रिट्रेन करने के लिए और पिछले they won big awards both at FICCI, at national level, and this device, which when they started selling it, they were not able to find people, they were not able to find users, buyers, though about 10 to 12% people face this problem, 1 or 2% face it so acutely that they get extremely depressed. The problem is there, but they were not willing to experiment with it. So how do you help them build that customer experience so that the customer starts accepting the solution? You have developed a solution. So what we did was we talked to them about, let's see, in design thinking, how many of you have heard word design thinking? Please raise your hand. Has almost everybody heard the word design thinking? So design thinking talks about 3 elements: desirability, feasibility, and viability, right? So desirability is that whatever product you're designing it for a set of customer and they desire it. जैसे संजीव ने भी कहा था कि भाई एक unsolved problem को solve कर रहे हो, that means you're serving a desire, right? Now people have this problem, people have tinnitus, but they are wary of trying a new solution. So how do you help them? Desirability है, feasibility हो गई कि device बना ली, viability है because affordable device है, कोई बहुत लाखों की नहीं है, 10, 12, 15 हजार की device है. We started giving it on rent. Go to the customer, go to their house, find out, we'll give it to you for 2,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees rent for a month. Just try it. 6 महीने तक उन्होंने दिल्ली में आसपास ट्राई किया, 100-150 लोगों की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुई, 100-150 लोगों ने टेस्टिमोनियल्स देने शुरू किए, एम्स में ट्रायल हुआ, and suddenly the devices picked up the market. So, what I'm trying to tell entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who are sitting here, is design thinking as a concept is a very, very valuable concept for us to design new products, new services. Try using it. We have started using design thinking in our products, in our systems. The RBI, the central banking system, and the entire RTGS system, the government e-marketplace system, it runs on the systems developed by our companies, Intellect Design. Another company, Nucleus Software, almost 75 to 80% of loans which are given in India, consumer loans, auto loans, car loans, house loans, small loans, they are processed through the systems developed by Nucleus Software, which is working in almost all the banks. Not only these systems are being used across the world. So both these companies, both Intellect Design and Nucleus Software, are amongst the top 5 banking software companies globally in their respective fields. How have we achieved this? Again, by focusing on customers, understanding customers and understanding their needs, not only their needs, the needs of the people these customers are serving. Now I'll give you a little bit background of how did we learn this, how did we achieve this. Design thinking we learned now, but banking as a domain, we learned when we started working for Citibank in India, and we worked for them for 10 years non-stop. We started as a small team of about 18 or 20 people, starting from a 1-bedroom flat in South Extension Part 2, and that's the time we got this break in Citibank, and we developed almost the cutting edge systems that we see today. You have fixed deposit systems, right? Attached, linked to your savings account. So just in case your savings account balance goes into negative, it pulls out, sweeps in. We did this system way back in 87 for Citibank. We said that the problem, what was the problem? Let me just define the problem for you and the solution also. The problem was that their customers were outside the country and they would make dollar deposits. If they have to withdraw, let's say out of $10,000 deposit, they have to withdraw $1,000, they would send the FDR back to the bank, bank will make a new FDR, send it back to them. We said, why should we do it? Can I not book 1,000 deposits of $1 each? And let the customer simply tell us, I want to withdraw 500 rupees, and we will optimize and figure out how many units need to be withdrawn. We'll withdraw that and give it to you. This was a problem of the customer, of our customers. Bank was our customer, and the problem was their customers. So when you design a system, design a product, design a service, and you want to give it to somebody, think of who's going to be the ultimate user, his desirability, making it feasible for him, and making it viable for them. Now, what is it that we can offer you here? So, to Delhi University, what we can offer is we have a design center in Chennai at Intellect Design. We can offer that your principals, your teachers, even the university team, if they wish to experience design thinking and how do we implement design thinking in our education systems, we'll be happy to work with you and invite you, host you at our design center. Come and join us. AICT visited with the entire senior team, and they spent 3 days in Chennai in the design center. And some of the interactions and the outcome was something which was seen to be believed. So I think I'll stop here and give you an open invitation to come visit us in our design center. We'll be happy to host you. We'll also be happy to help you design mechanisms which can be used in career design center. How can we use design thinking for designing our own career and our own life is an area we can work with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Proceeding ahead, Mr. Abhishek Sinha, co-founder and CEO, ECO. A very brief introduction. Started in 2007 and today evaluated at the rate $2.2 billion. ECO gives you an opportunity to turn your own shop into a banking and financial institution. Customers who do not have bank accounts and still want to transfer money using cash can do so at your shop. You can pay the utility bills, provide them with insurance, and earn in every service you give. Easy and effective. Sir, please.
Thank you. I'm really proud to be here. I told my mother that I'm going to Delhi University, and I couldn't make it to Delhi University. So she was very proud. She has taught in one of the colleges here. And she said that I'm going to be amongst the top young minds of this country. So this is absolutely my privilege to be here. One small correction, my company is not at all valued at $2.2 billion. No, we are much, much less than that. But let me get that out of the way. हिंदुस्तान में सिर्फ there are just about 10% economically active individuals who earn a salary. Now salary is something which is a fixed amount. The base amount never changes. For a lot of us who earn salaries here, we get it once a month. The base amount rarely changes and it is very, very predictable. And because there is a certain income cycle to this, look at the world around us. All our payments, phone bill ka payment, bijli bill ka payment, pani ka payment, Netflix ka payment, credit card ke bill ka payment, loan ke EMI ka payment, everything is once a month. But for 90% of the economically active individuals, they are earning more than once a month. And these people are earning multiple times in a month. The frequency is not defined. The frequency is not predictable, the amounts are not predictable. And this is the customer base with which my company ECO works with. And so when we look at lending products for them or payment products for them, then this is what we are considering, that how do we make it align with their earning cycle. And that's the work ECO does. Today, we started in late 2007. Since 2007, we have serviced about 50 million customers across the country, about 5 crore or so. And we help a lot of brands who want to reach out to this customer base, the customer base who's not earning a salary, who's earning multiple times in a month. Lot of companies want to sell to this customer because there's a huge customer base. And so what ECHO did early in its journey is that we realized that there are a lot of enterprising people from within the community who are early adopters. They are the ones who understand a product, adopt a product, and can tell people within their community what are the benefits of this product or service. And so we work with about close to 3.5 lakh micro entrepreneurs who are from within this customer base of 5 crore customers who help. And so one side we partner with brands, and these brands leverage this network to take their products and services to the end customer. So that's what ECHO does, but I will leave the would-be entrepreneurs with some ideas of and what drives me to be an entrepreneur and what drives me to continue to chase this every single day with absolutely full energy. आप लोग अपने आप को रिमाइंड कीजिए कि जब आप अपने किंडरगार्टन स्कूल्स में थे, क्लासेस में थे, और तब आपके क्लास में अगर कोई ये सवाल पूछता कि इस क्लास में कितने लोग पेंटिंग करते हैं, म्यूजिक करते हैं, डांस करते हैं, तो आपका भी हाथ ऊपर जा रहा होता और बाकी सभीयों का भी. धीरे धीरे अपने आप को क्लास 1 में लेके आइए, फिर क्लास 2 में लेके आइए और यही सवाल पूछिए कि कितने लोग डांस कर रहे हैं, पेंटिंग कर रहे हैं, म्यूजिक कर रहे हैं, बेसिकली किसी क्रिएटिव इंडल्जेंस में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं. और आप, मैं गलत नहीं हूँगा अगर मैं कहूँगा कि क्लास 5 आते आते तक शायद 2, 4, 5 ही हाथ ऊपर जाएंगे. दैट सेज अ लॉट अबाउट आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम. और इसके प्रति सजग होना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हमसे हमारी क्रिएटिविटी छीन ली जाती है, और इस क्रिएटिविटी न छिने इसके प्रति बहुत सजग होना चाहिए. जब तक हम लोग कॉलेज में आते हैं तब तक तो हो सकता है कि 70-80% हमसे छीन ली गई है. तो इसको संजो के रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है. मैं इसलिए एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, मुझे लगता है कि मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला, मुझे इतना अच्छा लगता है कि मुझे ये मौका डेली मिलता है कि मैं एक क्रिएटिव इंटेलिजेंस में पूरा अपना समय दे सकता हूँ. और आप इमेजिन कीजिए कि जब आप स्कूल में थे और हम लोग सभी को बोला जाता था कि आप पेंटिंग बनाइए, तो हम लोग बनाते थे, नदी बनाते थे, पहाड़ बनाते थे, चिड़िया बनाते थे. और हम में से कुछ ऐसे भी थे जो कि शायद उस नदी का कलर नीला ना करके पीला कर दें, हरा कर दें. एंड दैट वाज द नाइविटी और द फियरलेसनेस वी हैड टू ब्रेक नॉर्म्स एंड रूल्स. पर जैसे जैसे हम लोग बड़े होते जाते हैं, जैसे जैसे हमारी इंटेलेक्ट में बहुत सारा इंफॉर्मेशन आते रहता है, वैसे वैसे हमें नदी का कलर नीला ना करें, पीला कर दें तो बहुत डर लग जाएगा, राइट? और बहुत इनहेरेंट फियर्स अंदर आ जाते हैं. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है, एक ऐसा चॉइस है अपने लिए, जो कि आप अपने क्रिएटिविटी को कायम रख सकते हैं, आप अपने रूल्स को तोड़ सकते हैं, नॉर्म्स को तोड़ सकते हैं और नए रूल्स बना सकते हैं. और ऐसा ही बहुत लोगों ने किया. हमारे बीच में जितने, चाहे रुचि हों, संजीव हों, योगेश जी हों, बाकी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हों, कहीं ना कहीं इन लोग ने यही किया. जो बाकी लोग वो रूल नहीं तोड़ पाए, वो इन लोगों ने ये रूल तोड़ा है. तो क्रिएटिविटी इतनी ज़रूरी है हमारे जीवन में. आप फिर सोचिए, व्हेन डू वी लूज आवर सेंस ऑफ टाइम? We lose our sense of time when we are indulging in creativity. but work is stressful. So it is very important for us to make sure that we are always indulging in creativity, and creativity will come when we are challenging the existing norms and rules. So this is very important. एक हद तक delusional होना जरूरी है. जब तक आपको वो delusionment नहीं होगा, तब तक आप शायद वो रूल्स ना तोड़ पाएं. कम से कम सर में, अपने दिमाग में तो वो रूल तोड़ना बहुत जरूरी है, तभी जाके हम उसको आगे रियलिटी में भी तोड़ पाएंगे. मेरी जर्नी स्टार्टअप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग रही है. मैंने जब ये कंपनी शुरू की तो हिंदुस्तान में ऐसा कोई काम नहीं कर रहा था. तो बिल गेट्स हमारे ऑफिस में आए और कम से कम 1-1.5 घंटे हम लोग के साथ बैठे, बात किए. So we have spent time with the likes of Bill Gates, we have spent time with the likes of Barack Obama and many other leaders. We have also, by the way, and India is an interesting country and it offers very, very interesting experiences. I have also stood in a courtroom in custody. So I have seen just some of those moments are difficult to live. Sanjeev bhi keh rahe the ki some of those moments are difficult to live. But when you look back, you only, say ki what amazing and unique experiences one has had, right? So if you're making and I encourage people to become entrepreneurs, because one, you can keep your creativity alive. The second, it will get you to experience very interesting moments. Moments which will give you a high, moments which you will feel as if the world has come to an end. But you have to keep at it. If you keep at it, then you go through it, you only look back and say, wow, what interesting experiences. कितने मेरे मित्र हैं, कितने मेरे क्लासमेट्स हैं जो कि कोर्ट में या एक लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसी के साथ उनका पाला पड़ा होगा, बट मेरा तो पड़ा है. आखिरी में मैं बस यही बोलना चाहता हूँ, और ये मैं आई थिंक किसी ने ये बात की, डेली रात को सोने समय I only pray one thing, कि God make me 20 again. And the reason why I do this is because I always feel I did not break enough rules. I have not been as creative as I should have been. And if I can go back to being 20 again, then maybe I can break a lot more rules and stretch my creativity even beyond. Because what I have understood is that when you are in your late teenagers and early 20s, you are literally like an atom bomb. Your imagination is the boundary of your canvas. मैंने 6D सोचा तो 6D हो गया, echo सोचा तो echo हो गया, किसी ने नौकरी सोचा तो नौकरी हो गया, किसी ने ऑक्सीजो सोचा तो ऑक्सीजो हो गया. तो ये तो होना ही होना है. आप जितना बड़ा सोचेंगे, जितना क्रिएटिव सोचेंगे, वो होगा ही होगा. दूसरा कि मैं बहुत रिलेट करता हूँ उन डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज से जिसमें वो दिखाते हैं कि वो फ्री सोलो क्लाइंबिंग कर रहे हैं, विदाउट एनी सेफ्टी हार्नेसेस. You are climbing a mountain and a sheer wall. There is very little margin of error. There is practically zero margin of error. And that pushes, the intensity of the focus is so much that it's almost meditative. The pursuit of perfection for that individual who's climbing a sheer wall without safety harnesses, the pursuit of perfection is so meditative, and the intensity of that focus is so high. Yeah? It is so intense. And the cause literally is a cause so big for them that you are ready to die for. And I believe that when at ECHO, when we are trying to solve for the next billion, it is a cause to die for. It is that big a cause. And that what drives my creativity there, that what motivates me and my team to get there every single day and figure out a way to empower these people. So with that, I'll end my talk. Thank you again so much for having me here. And I truly encourage people to make the choice for entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such grounding words and praiseworthy words for Delhi University. Proceeding ahead, Mr. Anubhav Dubey. Yeah, Anubhav Dubey, co-founder, CEO, Chai Sutta Bar. Just 2 lines. Chai Sutta Bar is a rapidly growing tea chain. It has been creating memories and building connections since its inception. Hailing from Madhya Pradesh, they are known for the quality and world-class services. Sir, please.
हेलो, हमारे यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसी असेंबली लगती थी तो सबसे पीछे जाके खड़ा हो जाता था मैं, आगे थोड़ा घबराहट होती थी। जिस दिन थॉट ऑफ द डे बोलने के लिए बोला जाता था उस दिन बंक मार देते थे। आज डीयू में वाइस चांसलर सर के स्टेज में 20 प्रिंसिपलों के साथ सामने जब स्पीच देने बोलो तो आप मेरी हालत समझ सकते हैं। जब थॉट ऑफ द डे बोलने के लिए बोला जाता था तो इसलिए बंक मार देते थे क्योंकि जो रटा हुआ है वो बोलना रहता था, अब जो करा हुआ है वो बोलना है, तो थोड़ा सा कंफर्टेबल है आज। मुझे मेरी स्टोरी सुनानी है। तो मैं एक बहुत गरीब परिवार से नहीं आता हूँ। हाँ, साधारण परिवार से आता हूँ जैसे औसतन सबके रहते हैं। मैं अपना दुखड़ा नहीं सुनाऊंगा क्योंकि दुखड़ा सुनाना बहुत समय हो जाएगा। स्टार्टअप की जर्नी में टास्क तो आती हैं, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग नेचर ही एंटरप्रेन्योर का डेफिनेशन होती है। मैं एक ऐसी जगह आता हूँ जहाँ पे हमारे पिताजी क्या क्या करते थे, जब वो अपने ससुराल जाते थे तो उनके पास गाड़ी नहीं रहती थी, तो दोस्त की गाड़ी लेते थे, रास्ते पर सवारी बैठाते थे, ससुराल आने के पहले पहले सवारी उतार देते थे। महर्षि विद्या मंदिर में पढ़ता था तो एक जोड़ी कपड़ा हुआ करता था, सफ़ेद शर्ट और येलो कलर की पैंट। तो हमारी मम्मी क्या करती थी, हर चीज़ एक जोड़ी बड़ा ही देती थी और उसको फोल्ड कर देती थी कि अगले साल वो छोटा ना पड़े। तो जब वो अगले साल जब वो खुलता था तो वो मल्टी कलर का हो जाता था वो। तो उस बात को कभी हमने अभाव नहीं माना, मतलब कभी उस चीज़ का बुरा नहीं माना। हम तो बोलते ये तो यूनिक है, तुमको मार्केट में मिलेगा ही नहीं, तो वी प्रेजेज इट। 8वीं में बहुत अच्छे नंबर आ गए, 96 वगैरह करीबन आ गए। तो हमारे पिताजी को लगा कि लड़का हमारा होनहार है, कलेक्टर बनेगा। तो उन्होंने यूपीएससी का थप्पा मेरा उसी टाइम से लगा दिया कि लड़का यूपीएससी करेगा हमारा। लेकिन उन्होंने गलती कर दी कि हमको हॉस्टल भेज दिया। हॉस्टल में भेजा तो जो 96% थे वो कट शॉर्ट होकर 45 बच गए। मैथ्स मैंने इस डर से नहीं ली कि जेई नहीं निकलेगा, कॉमर्स ले लिया। कॉमर्स लिया तो उसमें ज़्यादा ऑप्शन रहते नहीं, सीए रहता है, तो मैंने सीए की तैयारी की, पहले नहीं हुआ। फिर उसके बाद बड़े अच्छे आईएम के लिए किया, कैट की तैयारी, नहीं हुआ। फिर बोल रहे कि पापा ने जो बोला था वो यूपीएससी उसी की तैयारी कर लेते हैं। वहाँ गए, दिल्ली आए तो वो भी नहीं हुआ। हम लोग क्या करते थे, संजीव सर, मैंने संजीव सर को स्पेशल रोका है। संजीव सर की भी कहानी बताता हूँ कि हम लोग अभी 2 महीने पहले एक मेघना दीदी से मिले। वहाँ पे उन्होंने बोला कि हम संजीव सर को जानते हैं। तो हम लोग बहुत एक्साइटेड हो गए, संजीव सर के बारे में पढ़ते रहते हैं हम लोग, स्मॉल टाउन में सारे। तो मैंने उनसे यही कहा, उनको बढ़िया चाय पिलाई। मैं बोला देखिए आप हमें कोई बार जुगाड़ कराइए मिलाने का उनसे। तो आज जब सर आए तो मेरे साथ राहुल था, तो मैंने बोला सर वही है भैया जिसकी अपन बात कर रहे थे, वही है। तो सर से जाके मैंने मैसेज किया दीदी को कि मैं वो यहीं पे आया। तो बोले बात करो। तो मैं गया, बात किया, हिम्मत की बात करने की, बात किया। फिर उसके बाद में अभी सीट खाली मिली थी यहाँ से, वहाँ जाके बैठ गया और रिक्वेस्ट भी की रुक जाइए। चलिए मैं अपनी स्टोरी में थोड़ा सा एकदम शॉर्ट में ख़त्म करूँगा क्योंकि और भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं। एक क्योंकि पिताजी ने हमको बहुत कोचिंग वगैरह करवाई, पढ़ाया लिखाया, तो उनको बिना बताए हमने ये स्टार्टअप चालू कर दिया चाय का। उनको बताया नहीं, उनके हिसाब से मैं अभी भी चाय बेच रहा, वो यूपीएससी की तैयारी करता, चुपके से चालू कर लिया। मम्मी को बता दिया था क्योंकि मम्मी का राजा बेटा हूँ मैं। पापा को नहीं बताया क्योंकि यहाँ पे शहर में क्या होता है, औसतन पापा होते हैं, डैड होते हैं, हमारे यहाँ पे बाप होते हैं। चालू कर लिया। चालू करने के लिए पैसे कहाँ से आए, तो दोस्त था मेरा, वो उसको हमेशा था कि बिजनेस करना है, तो उसके साथ उसने, जो उसका पुराना बिजनेस करा था, उसने 3 लाख रुपए लगाया, उससे एक चाय की दुकान हमने चालू किया। हमारे पास डेटा नहीं था कि इट इज़ द हाईएस्ट कंज्यूमर बिवरेजेस ऑन प्लैनेट आफ्टर वाटर, बट वी सॉ के हर जगह पे चाय तो चल जाती है, तो बोले ठीक है चलो 3 लाख रुपए में चाय बेच सकते हैं, क्या करेंगे। तो हमने पहली दुकान गर्ल्स हॉस्टल के पास में खोली। हमको लगा कि अगर गर्ल स्काउट को हम अट्रैक्ट कर लेंगे तो लड़के अपने आप आ जाएंगे। तो इट हैपेंड, एक दुकान खोली, फिर उसके बाद 2, धीरे धीरे चलता रहा। एक हमारे साथ में एक और लड़का भी था जिसका नाम मनोज था, वो ऑर्फन है, उसके मम्मी पापा नहीं है, उसको हमने रखा। एक जगह पे डेंटिस्ट साहब के यहाँ पे जूता चप्पल जमाता था, वो पोछा लगाता, उसके मम्मी पापा भी नहीं, तो उसको रखा साथ में। ग्रोथ में बताता हूँ, लोग ग्रोथ नंबर्स में बताते हैं, आई विल टेल यू अबाउट द इम्पैक्ट। सो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हुई, धीरे धीरे कारवां बढ़ा। आज हम लोग की 470 दुकानें हैं सर। दुनिया में सबसे ज़्यादा कुल्हड़ चाय बेचते हैं, करीबन 5 लाख कुल्हड़ चाय बेचते हैं। इंडिया में के बाहर भी हम लोग की शॉप्स हो गई, दुबई, मस्कट, ओमान, नेपाल, अभी रिसेंटली इनकॉर्पोरेट कंपनी यूके, यूएसए एंड कनाडा। इम्पैक्ट की बात करा था, तो इम्पैक्ट जो मनोज है, आज उसका खुद का बंगला है इंदौर जैसे शहर में, बाय एयर ट्रैवल करता है, अभी उसका यूके का वीज़ा लगाया तो यूके भी जा रहा है। जितने भी हमारे यहाँ पे पॉटर्स, क्योंकि कुल्हड़ में हम लोग काम करते हैं, तो करीबन हमारे यहाँ पे 2500 पॉटर्स फैमिली जो है वो कुल्हड़ बनाती है, तो उनको परमानेंट एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिला। और जो हम लोग का एक दिन का क्यूमुलेटिव टर्नओवर है हमारे सारे आउटलेट्स का, वो करीबन 50 लाख का हम लोग एक दिन में करते हैं। एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बहुत एक एंटरप्रेन्योर की दुनिया में बहुत बड़ी चीज़ होती है, लेकिन लाइफ की उसमें बहुत कम होती है। हमारे लाइफ में सब चीज़ अच्छा रहा था, लेकिन फिर कोविड आ गया। कोविड आया तो नेगेटिव कैश फ्लो हो गया, मतलब सारे किराया वाड़े भरने थे सबको। हम लोग यहाँ पे क्योंकि जितने भी लड़के काम करते हैं सारे ऑर्फन्स हैं, डिसेबल्ड हैं, सबकी सैलरी देनी थी। तो एंटरप्रेन्योर बहुत छोटी छोटी गलती करता है, वो बहुत भावुक हो जाता है। तो मेरे यहाँ पे एक लड़का था जो मेरे कजिन का बहुत अच्छा फ्रेंड था, मैं उसको भाई मानता था। तो जब हम लोग सैलरी कट करना स्टार्ट किए ऊपर से, कि हम लोग अपर मैनेजमेंट से सैलरी काटेंगे कि जिससे लोअर मैनेजमेंट को जितने भी लड़के अनाथ उनको मिले, तो उसने क्या किया, वो टीम तोड़ के भाग गया और दूसरे कॉम्पिटिटर के साथ जाके मर्ज हो गया। ऐसी सिचुएशन थी जहाँ पे हमको किराया देना है, सारी दुकानें बंद हैं, वेयर हाउस में माल पड़ा हुआ सारा खराब हो रहा है क्योंकि सारे पेरिशेबल गुड्स हैं। उस टाइम पे बड़ी बेकार सिचुएशन थी। एक और सिचुएशन आई मेरी पर्सनल लाइफ में। मैं ये चीज़ इसलिए क्योंकि यंगस्टर्स बैठे हैं इसलिए बता देता हूँ कि लाइफ में सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा था, पैसे आ रहे थे, नाम आ रहा था, सब चीज़ अच्छा चल रहा था। फिर सडनली मेरी लाइफ में एकदम से एक टाइप 1 डायबिटीज़ आ गई। तो मैं डायबिटिक हो गया अभी साल भर पहले। टाइप 1 डायबिटीज़ बेसिकली एक ऑटोइम्यून डिसीज होती है जो हेरिडिटी नहीं होती है ना लाइफस्टाइल की वजह से होती है, जस्ट हैपन टू बी, एक दिन के बच्चे को भी जाती है। तो एक मेरा बहुत सपना था कि प्लेन वगैरह उड़ाएंगे, तो उसके लिए मैंने टेस्ट वगैरह कराया, तो आई क्लियर दैट एग्जाम। बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्योंकि मैं टाइप 1 डायबिटीज़ हो गया था तो अब नहीं कर सकता। सो आई हैव द ओनली क्योर अवेलेबल इज दैट यू हैव टू टेक इंसुलिन। मैंने कभी सुना ही नहीं था कि इंसुलिन क्यों होती, क्योंकि हमारे खानदान में किसी को है ही नहीं। तो इंसुलिन के इंजेक्शन लगाने हैं खाने के पहले, लाइफ टाइम, जब तक कोई नहीं इसका कोई आविष्कार नहीं आता। तो 2 बार मैंने लिया, स्टार्टिंग में तो आई टच्ड कोमा ट्वाइस। तो मेरे घर वाले बड़े परेशान कि लड़का इतनी सी उम्र में इसको डायबिटीज़ हो गई, इंसुलिन के इंजेक्शन लग रहे हैं। और मैं भी घर पे बैठा बहुत टेंशन में, बोला यार अब तो कुछ कर ही नहीं पाएंगे, अब तो ये हो गया, इंसुलिन कहाँ ले लेके घूमेंगे, क्या खाएंगे, इतना अच्छा फूड ही क्या करेंगे। बाल झड़ने लग गए टेंशन में। फिर मैंने बोला कि क्या किया जाए, ऐसे तो मम्मी पापा को नहीं देख सकते, कुछ ना कुछ करना पड़ेगा नया। तो मैं बोला क्या चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद आती है मेरे को। मेरे को स्टक हुआ कि धंधा करना। उस धंधे के लिए मतलब सिर्फ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप ज़ील के वजह से मैं उठा और मेरा वेट कुछ 12 किलो कम हो गया था एकदम सडनली। तो मैं उठा, मेरा जो HbA1c लेवल था 16.4 था, जो 5.7 से ऊपर नहीं होना चाहिए। सो आई केम बैक, आई वर्कड हार्ड, 5.5 में लेके आया, थोड़ा सा वेन गेट किया, कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट की दुबई में और शॉप्स ओपन की, टर्नओवर बढ़ा के 150 करोड़ कर दिया। सो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप is craziness. You have to be vision alignment with yourself. और कभी भी लाइफ में मैं बोला ना कि रियल एंटरप्रेन्योर जो लाइफ से आप अच्छे से बैलेंस करके चल सको। तो कई लोग जो इवन आई एम थैंकफुल टू गॉड के कई लोगों को बहुत लेट समझ में आता है, 60-70 साल की उम्र में बहुत जल्दी समझ में आया कि व्हाट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट इन लाइफ, दैट इज योर लाइफ, योर हैप्पीनेस इज व्हाट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट। So I started living my life and working along with it, and my passion is business. I love to do business. हम लोग चाय बेचते हैं तो हम लोग को पता नहीं था कि हम लोग ने कभी पढ़ा नहीं था बिजनेस स्कूल में कि जस्ट B2C बिजनेस टू कस्टमर होता है ना। लेकिन B2C के बीच में A से Z तक चीजें आती है, कोई नहीं बताया हमको। पुलिस के डंडे भी चल जाते हैं। दुखड़े की बात भी बता रहा था, प्रॉब्ली वी आर द यंगेस्ट कंपनी इंडिया जिसके बाद 2 बार नार्कोटिक्स के छापे पड़ गए, और बेचते क्या है हम? चाय। सो यू हैव टू डील विथ इट। आई मीन यही तो धंधा है। व्यापार का मतलब ये है कि आपको डेली जो टास्क आएंगे उसको सॉल्व करते हुए चलना। यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम बिहाइंड इट। आई वाज टेलिंग कि मैंने IIM की तैयारी की थी, मैंने CA की तैयारी की थी, नहीं हुआ। IIT के लिए डर ही गया था, नहीं किया। नाउ वी आर हायरिंग फ्रॉम लास्ट 3 years फ्रॉम द IITs एंड IIM। गुड ब्रेन्स। एक जगह पे हम लोग बूट स्ट्रैप्ड हैं, लेकिन बहुत हवा चली हुई थी उसकी कि फंडिंग की, तो हम लोग को भी बड़ा मजा आ रहा था फंडिंग की। तो हम लोग एक जगह पे चले गए, IIM और IIT कराता है एक इवेंट I5 समिट करके। वहाँ पे हम लोग गए तो वहाँ पे हम लोग को PPT हमारी नहीं बनी हुई थी, अच्छे से आती नहीं थी, तो हमको रिजेक्ट कर दिया। तो हम लोग क्या थे, इधर लोग नेटवर्किंग बोलते हैं यहाँ पे, हमारे यहाँ पे उसको संबंध और व्यवहार बोलते हैं। तो हमने जो बड़े लोग थे उनसे बना लिया, जो अगले साल जब वो बड़े हुए तो उन्होंने हमारी PPT पास कर दी। मैं स्टेज में गया, स्टेज आई वेंट टू स्टेज और वहाँ पे मैंने स्पीच दी। दे आस्क्ड मी कि आप IIT से हो कि IIM से हो, व्हाट इज योर बैकग्राउंड? आई एम द स्टूडेंट ऑफ ग्राउंड रियलिटीज। जमीन बहुत अच्छे से पड़ी है। और हम लोग मार्केटिंग कैसे करते थे सर, मैं आपको बताता हूँ। कहीं पे भी हम लोग के पास पैसे नहीं थे तो हम लोग क्या करते थे कि हमारे दोस्त बहुत थे, हॉस्टलर्स थे हम लोग, तो हम अपने दोस्तों को ही बुला लेते थे, वेले हो आ जाओ यहाँ पे और फ्री में चाय है, तो सब लोग आ जाते। तो लोगों को लगता है इतनी भीड़ की चीज़ की है यार, क्या बेचता है ये। तब उनको मालूम पड़ा, लोगों को मालूम नहीं पड़ा। फिर हम लोग खुद ही जाते थे इवेंट में और आपस में हम लोग बात करते थे, यार वो सुना है चाय सुट्टा बार बहुत चलता है यार, चलो घूम के आते हैं। और अभी सोशल मीडिया के दौर पे अभी हम लोग अभी आप देखें मोर देन 2-3 मिलियन हम लोग की रीच हो गई है हर जगह पे, सारे अकाउंट्स में। जबकि हम लोग ऑफलाइन थे, ऑफलाइन व्यापारियों को इतना वो नहीं होता। जैसे हमारे शटर बंद हो गए तो हमने लैपटॉप चालू कर लिया, वहां आग लगा दी हमने, और पूरा माल हमने कनाडा में बेचा, अपना पूरा कनाडा पैक कर दिया बामन आउटलेट के साथ में। आदमी को, एंटरप्रेन्योर को एक पानी के जैसा होना चाहिए, कैसा भी समय हो उस ढांचे में ढल जाए। मैं कोई ज्ञान नहीं बांटूंगा, मैं जिस चीज का भुक्त भोगी हूं वही चीज आपको बता रहा हूं कि लाइफ में एक ही गुरु है अगर आपको धंधा करना है तो, दैट इज मार्केट। मार्केट से बड़ा कोई गुरु नहीं होता। मेरा फंडा हो सकता है आपके धंधे में नहीं चलेगा। सो जंप इनटू द मार्केट, टेक द कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क, डू इट राइट नाउ। अगर आप यंग हो तो इससे ज्यादा एपिटाइट आपके पास है, रिस्क एपिटाइट आपकी हो ही नहीं सकती। जंप इनटू द मार्केट, डू द मिस्टेक, कमिट द मिस्टेक, do and fail better next time. Do it right now, and thank you so much for having me, and thank you Sanjeev sir for listening. Thank you.
Truly delighting, truly delighting. Now I would introduce Mr. Tenzin Thardo, founder Amma Bakery and Cafe, to please come here. It was started in 2012 with an aim to provide a holistic experience of the Himalayan region through coffee and food in a setting that provides a feeling of being in the mountains. Please.
My greetings to everyone. I will make it very short. How I realized that I'm an entrepreneur was what was a very funny thing. Like after when our brand Ama Cafe was growing, and with the few other brands that we had, I always thought that I'm a businessman. And then soon people started taking me more towards the entrepreneur. And I was like wondering like what actually entrepreneur was at that time. And I began to study and try to know what entrepreneur really is. Then I realized and I learned that entrepreneurs are actually a problem solver of the country, a problem solver of the world. So while on this journey, how again like the Ama Cafe came into existence was again, it was trying to solve some problem. The problem that how we see so it was on my experience that like I'm so sorry, like I'm completely wait now. Yeah. So how the entrepreneur. Yeah. So I just want to say that like entrepreneur, like so the students over here, like if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should be a good problem solver. If you're a good problem solver, and if you, while solving this problem, if you see opportunity, you will see the opportunity, then you'll be a good entrepreneur. So that's all I can say. And thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin sir. Mr. Ramesh Agarwal, Chairman, Agarwal Packers and Movers. He started his career as an airman and joined Indian Mechanical Training Institute, MTI, at Chennai in 1980. Rameshji was always fond of meeting challenging assignments, and his hard work and dedication won him recognition, and he was conferred the title of the Best Airman. In 1986, Rameshji decided to seek retirement and set out to become an entrepreneur. Agarwal Packers and Movers Limited is one of the largest logistic companies in India. Sir, please.
सबको नमस्ते, प्रणाम। और जो कुछ हमारे यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं स्टूडेंट्स, उनको स्पेशली, क्योंकि उनमें कहीं ना कहीं कहते हैं 1 लाख में से एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनता है, तो ये सब 1 लाख में से एक है। यानी कि यहाँ 50 भी बैठे हैं तो आप जोड़ लो कि कितने 50 लाख लोग में से सिलेक्टेड है। ज़्यादा न भूमिका बनाते हुए भारतीय वायुसेना से शुरू हुआ और J&K में रहने का मौका मिला। कश्मीर, करगिल, थवाइस, लेह, लद्दाख, अवंतीपुरा, बारामूला -18 -10 डिग्री में भी रहने का मौका मिला। और रहते रहते कुछ डिग्रियां मिल गई, इनकी डिग्री ऑफ डिसिप्लिन, डिग्री ऑफ ऑनरशिप, डिग्री ऑफ होनेस्टी, मगर डिग्री ऑफ बीकॉम नहीं ले पाया मैं वहाँ पर रहते हुए, क्योंकि छुट्टी नहीं मिली। ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी से फॉर्म भरा था, मगर वो छुट्टी न मिलने के कारण वो एग्ज़ाम नहीं लिख पाया, तो मैंने कभी फिर उसके बाद डिग्री ऑफ बीकॉम नहीं कर पाया। बस वो एक मन में वो रह गई। चलो कोई बात नहीं। और एक ही चीज़ रहती है एंटरप्रेन्योर में, जहाँ मोर पेन वहाँ मोर गेन। जहाँ ज़्यादा पेन होगा वहीं गेन होगा। बस एक सिंपल है, जहाँ भी आप कुछ भी ढूंढ लो कि जहाँ ज़्यादा पेन है वहाँ पर अपना काम शुरू कर दो, वहाँ अपने आप ही गेन हो जाएगा। बीइंग इन एयरफोर्स मैंने जो वहाँ देखा कि जो शिफ्टिंग होती थी वहाँ पर बड़ी पेन होता था कि इंडियन फोर्स के अंदर शिफ्टिंग के अंदर गवर्नमेंट पेमेंट तो करती है, मगर गवर्नमेंट ये नहीं कहती कि आपके पास ये पार्टिकुलर जगह है यहाँ शिफ्ट करो, वो अपने आप ही हर व्यक्ति को ढूंढना पड़ता है। तो मैंने देखा कि जब भी शिफ्टिंग होती है हस्बैंड वाइफ का झगड़ा हो जाता है कि मैं तो बता ये तूने क्यों खरीद लिया, मैंने पहले बताया था टूटेगा, वो है। और शिफ्टिंग के बाद तो उनका झगड़ा होना ही था क्योंकि 10% 5% सामान टूट जाया करता था। तो मैंने देखा कि ये झगड़े को कैसे निपटाया जाए, और एक ऐसे करते करते एक जन्म हुआ पैकी मूवी कंपनी का, अग्रवाल पैकर मूवर का। और मैं अब ऑफिस से अब करूं कैसे, डिफेंस में सर्विस करता हुआ, क्योंकि कहते हैं कि अभी जैसे यहाँ आपने सुना होगा सिन्हा जी से कि अपनी मर्जी के मालिक, डिफेंस में रहकर मर्जी के मालिक नहीं होते, वो मर्जी के अधीन होते हैं, क्योंकि वो आप कुछ भी सोचो आपका अरे डिसिप्लिन नहीं है, ये सर्विस रूल का हिस्सा नहीं है, आपको कुछ भी सोचो बढ़िया से बढ़िया वो आपको वहीं रोक देंगे। अरे सर्विस रूल में लिखा नहीं ना, क्यों अपना दिमाग लगाते, जैसा कहा वैसे बोल लो। आप सोचा कि तो ताले लग जाएंगे, सारा दिमाग के ब्लॉक हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए सोचा ये दिमाग को ब्लॉक ना हो, यहाँ से तो कहीं ना कहीं अभी निकलना पड़ेगा, न तो कोई वार होने वाला। जो मन था कि भाई ये वार देखेंगे, 84 का ब्लू स्टार जरूर हुआ, उसमें थोड़ा सा मौका मिला काम करने का, अदरवाइज 82 86 तक मेरे को कोई जस्ट पीस एरिया वाज वेरी ऑफकोर्स बेस एरिया, पर काम सारा पीसफुल टाइप का था, कोई ऐसा काम नहीं था कि एयरफोर्स में ATC में मेरी ड्यूटी थी। तो मैं किसी तरह भी VRS लेकर वहाँ से निकला। निकलने के बाद अब दिमाग में था कि ये पैकिंग मूविंग किस तरह से खोल लें, और एक डिफेंस से शुरू की, और शुरू करते करते अब लोगों को कैसे मालूम हो कि मैं ये पैकिंग मूविंग करता हूँ। अब उस जमाने में तो गूगल का वो था नहीं कि ऐड गूगल दे दो या कहीं पेपर में ऐड देने के लिए पैसा चाहिए, वो भी नहीं था। तो किसी तरह से भी कैसे भी शाखा होती है हमारी RSS की, तो एक हमारे मुख्य शिक्षक थे TV जय कुमार, तो उसको मैं बोला कि यार कुछ पैसे चाहिएंगे क्योंकि मेरे को कुछ इस्तार छपाने हैं, ये होते ना लाइक छोटे छोटे 4 पैसे का एक बनता था, तो मैंने 15-20 हज़ार इस्तार छपवाए, 4,000 रुपये उनकी माताजी से मिले। बोला मैं भी वैसे ही फकड़ू, मेरे पास भी कुछ भी नहीं, माँ जरूर दे देगी और तेरे को बड़ा पसंद करती, तू जाकर मांग ले, मैं कहूँगा तो नहीं देगी। बट उन्हें मैं गया मांगा तो 4,000 रुपये मेरे को मिले, इस्तार छपाए। इस्तार से हमने क्या किया कि जो कारें खड़ी रहती है रेलवे स्टेशन के सामने, जैसे दिल्ली और हैदराबाद, उसके वाइपर के ऊपर वो हैंड बिल लगाकर आते थे रात को, और फिर फोन के सामने बैठते थे, कोई फोन आया घंटी बजते हम कहा ठहर ठहर किसी ग्राहक का फोन आएगा, बड़े हिसाब से उठाते, हाँ जी बोलिए। तो उसमें से किसी का कुछ फोन आ जाता था, मगर 2-4 शिफ्टिंग के फोन आने लग गए, और इस तरह से हमने वो काम शुरू किया। 24 दिन में वो 4,000 रुपये हमारी जो आंटी माता जी जो है उनके हमने वापस कर दिए थे कि जी आपका ये उधार। हम 24 दिन में डेट फ्री हो गए, और उसके बाद जो भी कमाया हमारा अपना, फिर 1 ऑफिस, 2 ऑफिस, 10 ऑफिस, 100 ऑफिस, 150 ऑफिस हिंदुस्तान का, पोर्ट ब्लेयर से लेकर एनीथिंग इन द ईस्ट, यू कैन से अगरतला और सोनसोन, लेह लद्दाख एंड ईस्ट वेस्ट एंड आउट ऑफ वर्ल्ड 160 के अंदर प्रेजेंस है, 1500 ट्रक्स हैं, 8,000 पीपल वर्किंग विद अस। ये छोटी सी कहानी है। तो यानी कि एक ही चीज़ कि जहाँ मोर पेन मोर गेन, और अपना, जैसे रुचि जी ने कहा था कि अपना, जब तक अपना नहीं होगा तो आपको ये सेंस आएगी नहीं, हर तरह से अपना। पहला कंसाइनमेंट भी जो मेरे को मिला वो अपने के कारण ही मेरा बुक हुआ। जब मैं उसका सामान देख रहा था, सर्वे कर रहा था, तो हम सामान देखते तो बोलते हाँ फ्रिज, टीवी, इसका टिक करते रहते हैं कि पैकिंग रिक्वायर्ड। कुछ उसके घर में सामान पड़ा हुआ था, पुराने अखबार के पेपर, पुराना गत्ते, कार्टन्स। तो मैंने कहा कि बहन जी, मिसिस सोबती थी एस्कोर्ट में, वो GM थे, उसकी वाइफ, कि बहन जी ये सामान है ना, इसको आप डिस्पोज मत करना, अपने को इसका फायदा हो जाएगा। उसने बोला अपने को फायदा हो जाए, क्यों? कि मतलब ये नहीं तो मेरे को मोल लाना पड़ेगा, इसके 100, 200, 500 रुपये में फालतू में चार्ज करूंगा आपके, तो ये अपने को फायदा हो जाएगा। वो मैं ये नहीं कहा कि आपको फायदा हो जाएगा, आपको मैंने अपने में बदल दिया, और वो अपना ऐसा हो गया कि मैं आज यहाँ पर खड़ा हो गया कि ग्राहक अपना है, मैं उसके लिए सोचूं, बस वो रात को सोए मैं जगूं। ग्राहक जो मतलब ग्राहक का पेन यदि हमने वी हैव रिमूव्ड विद आवर ब्रेन, तो कोई धंधे में कोई किसी को मार नहीं सकता। एक ही बार 24 घंटे जगते फिरते केवल ये सोचना ग्राहक को कंफर्टेबल कैसे मिले, ग्राहक को कंफर्टेबल कैसे मिले। ड्यूरिंग कोरोना अभी क्या हुआ कि कुछ जो हमारे जो शिफ्टिंग कर रहे थे, तो काफ़ी लोगों के फ़ोन आए कि साहब शिफ्टिंग तो कर दो, पर हमारे पास अभी घर ही नहीं है, नौकरी छूट गई, मकान छोड़ना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दे वर पेइंग 80,000 90,000 भी रेंट, घर छोड़ना पड़ेगा। अब जाए कहाँ, क्यों गांव में जाएंगे तो बेइज्जती होगी कि यार इतने सालों से नौकरी कर रहा था, अब वही भागलपुर आकर दोबारा वापस आ गया, तो वहाँ तो जाना नहीं। तो देन वी स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग, बोला चिंता मत करो, हम एक उसी 7 दिन के अंदर एक नया वर्टिकल खुल गया, दैट्स कॉल्ड होम स्टोरेज। हमने कहा कि आपके इस तरह से हम होम का स्टोरेज करेंगे, क्योंकि और हमने वर्टिकल एक वो बना लिए रैक, और जो 10 रुपीज स्क्वायर फीट का भाड़ा था, ये 8 रैक बनाने के बाद 1 रुपये स्क्वायर फीट का भाड़ा हो गया, 8 टाइम्स। तो उससे 10 रुपीज लेते थे और हमारा खर्चा होता था 1 रुपये। एज ऑन टूडे देयर इज 8,000 होम स्टोरेज विद हैव, एंड 1 लाख की फैसिलिटी हमारी बन रही है, एक नया वर्टिकल खड़ा हो गया। 1 लाख इंटू 4,000 रुपीज पर मंथ, इट इज गोइंग टू बी 40 करोड़ रुपीज पर मंथ, ये देने वाला है एक नया प्रोजेक्ट। अब 8-4 हो गए, तो कहते हैं कि ग्राहक के बारे में सोचो, उसको कैसे बेनिफिट हो, वो कैसे खुश रहे, तो वो ग्राहक आपके सारे वर्टिकल खड़े कर देगा, आपके बारे में वो सोचेगा और आपका वो हो जाएगा। और बच्चों में बड़ा हौसला है। अभी 3-4 दिन पहले मेरे पास प्रिंसिपल रमा जी बैठी हुई है हंसराज की, उन्होंने भी बुलाया था कॉन्क्लेव 2023 स्टार्टअप। तो बच्चे, जब मैं बाहर निकला तो इतना बच्चों में उत्साह था कि 15 बच्चों ने तो घेर लिया, कहा सब भला इतने रातों रात ऐसे एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं बनते यार, आओ मिलो, कुछ चाय पानी पिलाओ, बातचीत करो, गुरु बनाओ मेरे को, तो मैं तुमको टिप दूंगा। उन्होंने फिर फोन भी कर लिया कि सर कब मिलने आए, बिकॉज उन्हें आग तो है एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने की। तो ये सारे भावी भारत के एंटरप्रेन्योर को मेरा दोबारा साधुवाद, और आपको मैं कह सकता हूँ शुभकामनाएं। जरूर बनोगे, क्योंकि आप इतनी देर से सुन रहे हो, बचे हुए हो, और इस रीजन यही है कि आप में कहीं ना कहीं आग है। 97 वाले की जरूरत नहीं होती एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने के लिए, उसमें तो 33, 34 या बीकॉम फेल वही चाहिए। थैंक यू सो मच।
Dhanyavad Ramesh sir. I now request our registrar sir, Vikas Gupta sir, who was the former director and member secretary.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mitashi. The program, which was to start at 3:30, got delayed due to some unforeseen circumstances. We apologize for delay. About 4 months back, we discussed this scheme with Bharatji. And then our Honorable Vice Chancellor immediately agreed that we should do something different so that we can take forward our students, that they can establish some kind of startups. So this is an idea which came to us from Shri Bharatji, and we are thankful to Shri Bharatji for having faith on us and giving us the confidence that we can start this initiative. We are also thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor that how beautifully he explained the today's concept, what we are looking for, what kind of a zeal and enthusiasm we need for establishment of career development center, and the support from the principals, which is only a startup now. Only 20 principals out of 70 colleges we have taken the first step. How they would take forward this MOU and would expand the activities of Samarth Bharat would give us a confidence that we can establish more career development centers in the time to come. I am thankful to the words of wisdom and their experiences which has been shared by the eminent personalities, which started with almost nil in their pocket, and how they reached to this level. We came to know that one of our speakers said, "Make me 20 again." We also think, make us 25 again. But our making is different, because at that time there was no phone call. We will not get a phone call, where are you, when are you coming home? So there is a difference for all those things. But then definitely a vision is needed, that where we would like to go further, how we can go further. Then we are also thankful to Shri Yogesh ji for giving us this platform.
हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम टू यूजी एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन बैच 24/7। आप सभी लोग का 24/7 के इस चैनल पर बहुत 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 सारा वेलकम है। और जैसे कि आप लोग थंबनेल पर देख रहे होंगे कि जो सेशन है दैट इज गोना बी बेस्ड ऑन योर मॉक टेस्ट, ठीक है। सो फटाफट आपको आंसर्स करने हैं ऑल दी क्वेश्चंस जो कि आपके एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट। तो एक बार जल्दी जल्दी मुझे सब लोग फटाफट कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख करके बता दो कि मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है आप लोगों को, ऑडियो वीडियो मिसमैच तो नहीं जा रहा है, एंड एवरीबडी इज रेडी for the session. All are energetic, enthusiastic, vigorous, zestful, soulful, scintillating and super duper awesome तरीके से तैयार। Good afternoon. Afternoon dear. Start करें सेशन को। खुश रहिए सिद्रा। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं हमारे टॉपिक्स को। देखो जो क्वेश्चंस हैं जो फ्रीक्वेंटली आपके एग्जाम्स में पूछे जा रहे हैं उन्हीं को ही हम यहाँ पे कवर करेंगे। कल मैंने प्रोवर्ब्स के क्वेश्चंस लिए थे, ठीक है, कुछ स्पॉटिंग एरर के भी क्वेश्चंस लिए थे जिसमें चूज द करेक्ट वर्ड करना था। मतलब यू हैव टू इम्प्रूव दी सेंटेंसेस विद द हेल्प ऑफ सर्टेन वर्ड्स, राइट। आज क्वेश्चंस मैंने फिलर्स के लिए हैं, स्पेलिंग एरर्स के लिए हैं। रीअरेंजमेंट इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक जो कि आपके एग्जाम में आएगा ही आएगा, रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एग्जाम में आएगा ही आएगा। सो ये टॉपिक्स मैंने लिख करके रखे हुए हैं यहाँ पर, ठीक है। तो अब एक बार फटाफट जल्दी से आप लोग मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख करके बता दीजिए, रेडी हैं आप सभी लोग? हाँ श्रेया, डाउट पूछ लीजिए आप अपना। तो अच्छा, स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं आप लोगों को एक चीज दिखाना चाहूंगी यहाँ पर। एक्चुअली ये जो आप लोग देख रहे हो ये उन बच्चों के नाम है जिन्होंने मुझे आफ्टर द वीडियो कमेंट सेक्शन में आंसर किया था, है ना। तो मैंने एक स्ट्रक्चर पूछा था, मैंने कहा था कि अगर आप इफ पास्ट का स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हो तो कैसे बनेगा। जैसे मैंने बोला था इफ ही हैड टाइम, अगर ऐसे लिखा होता तो आगे का स्ट्रक्चर कैसे जाता, राइट। इफ ही हैड टाइम, सो बच्चों ने मुझे आंसर दिया था ही वुड हैव कॉल्ड, राइट। यहाँ पर एक बच्चे का आंसर आया था ही वुड हैव कॉल्ड। यहाँ पे हैड टाइम आया था तो यहाँ पे बच्चे ने ही वुड हैव कॉल लिखा था, ठीक है। ये कंफ्यूजन था स्टूडेंट्स को। इसने भी जो आंसर दिया था वो वुड हैव करके ही दिया था, और ये जो बच्चा है इसने जो आंसर दिया था ये भी वुड हैव करके दिया था। बट लेट मी टेल यू अ वेरी क्लियर थिंग, मैंने आपसे क्या कहा था, अगर इफ पास्ट का स्ट्रक्चर जाता, अब इफ पास्ट का मतलब क्या है, इफ पास्ट का मतलब है वर्ब की सेकंड फॉर्म आएगी। वर्ब की कौन सी फॉर्म आएगी? सेकंड फॉर्म आएगी। तो इसका स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो सब्जेक्ट जाएगा, विल की जगह पे वुड हो जाएगा, और वर्ब की कौन सी फॉर्म लगा दोगे? फर्स्ट फॉर्म लगा दोगे। अगर आपका स्ट्रक्चर इफ पास्ट परफेक्ट का जाता है, किसका जाता है? इफ पास्ट परफेक्ट का, राइट। तो आप क्या लगाओगे? सब्जेक्ट लगाओगे, वुड लगाओगे, और वुड के साथ क्या लगा दोगे? हैव, और हैव के बाद आएगी वर्ब की थर्ड फॉर्म। नाउ अगर आप इस स्ट्रक्चर को देखेंगे तो इफ लिखा हुआ है, सब्जेक्ट लिखा हुआ है, और हैड के बाद टाइम लिखा है। कैन यू सी दिस? सो ये जो हैड है ना बेटू, ये आपको वर्ब की सेकंड फॉर्म बता रहा है। अगर इस हैड के बाद वर्ब की थर्ड फॉर्म लगी होती तो इफ पास्ट परफेक्ट समझते इसको आप, लेकिन क्योंकि यहाँ पर हैड के बाद वर्ब की थर्ड फॉर्म नहीं लगी हुई है, दैट मींस ये सिंपल पास्ट है। और जब सिंपल पास्ट में लेकर के जाते हो उसको, खाली पास्ट का रूल बनाते हो, तो वुड के साथ वर्ब की फर्स्ट फॉर्म आती है। सो कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ने मुझे आंसर तो किया था, बट आई हैव सीन नो अ सिंगल स्टूडेंट वाज देयर जिसने मुझे करेक्ट आंसर दिया हो, राइट। बहुत सारे बच्चों ने तो कंफ्यूजन की वजह से दिया ही नहीं। सो आई बिलीव कि आप लोग इसको थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस करोगे, ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट हिस्सा है। इस पे बेस्ड मैं क्वेश्चंस आप लोग के लिए लेकर के जरूर से जरूर आऊंगी, बट इट्स नेसेसरी फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू टू बी रेगुलर, ओके। चलिए अब स्टार्ट करते हैं हम आज के क्वेश्चन को। आज का पहला क्वेश्चन हमारे सामने ये लिखा हुआ है। क्वेश्चन कह रहा है अ गुड टीचर शुड डैश रिस्पॉन्सेज फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट। अ गुड टीचर शुड एलिसिट रिस्पॉन्सेज फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट, प्रोवोक रिस्पॉन्सेज फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट, कमांड रिस्पॉन्सेज फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट, या फिर इन्फर रिस्पॉन्सेज फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट। एक जो अच्छा टीचर होता है उसको स्टूडेंट से डैश रिस्पॉन्सेस चाहिए, है ना। तो आप आपको बताना है शुड क्या रिस्पॉन्सेस, रिस्पॉन्सेस को क्या करना चाहिए, एलिसिट करना चाहिए, प्रोवोक करना चाहिए, कमांड करना चाहिए या फिर इन्फर करना चाहिए। सो एक अच्छे टीचर